Happy New Year, everybody. I am back. It's like every day of the week now. We did 2 on Monday, 1 on Tuesday, 1 on Wednesday, 1 yesterday, today. Happy New Year, January 1st, 2021, 2020. Sayonara, adios. And yes, this is a true fact. When the virus is over, I still want some of you to stay clearly away from me. Look, as I said yesterday, and by the way, I want to thank everybody who passed by yesterday on New Year's Eve, chat a little bit, just real down-to-earth talk. We talked about everything you could possibly think of. A little bit of reflection of 2020, a little more Brodie Lee, food, politics, wrestling, old school, new school, family, had some retro moments as well. And Mish called in a little bit after midnight. I apologize for anybody who was offended when I decided to, in a way, to thank Mish for calling in and wishing everybody Happy New Year. I broke wind. I farted in his face. But I never in a million years ever thought that she would ever make a cameo on video. She's very, very shy, and she's not one of those that is looking to, show her face and everything. But yesterday, my fiance actually wished everybody a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Getting my holidays mixed up. And we had a nice little champagne toast. Now, I will tell you all right now, I got the little bird inside. My father dropped him off today because they're going to Florida this Sunday, hopefully to get vaccinated and a few other business things. But I am tired. I did not go to sleep until almost 4:30 in the morning. I was up by 9, and today has been hectic as can be. So that might be one of the pleasures of doing a show every day now is, not that you run out of things to talk about, but it's going to force the shows to spread out a little bit better. So I thank you all for stopping by yesterday. I know some of you obviously had plans and couldn't. No offense taken. I'm just happy to reign in the new year with my true friends online. And that's the God honest truth. I mean, I have said a lot of stuff in 2020. And let's be honest, it hurts. It hurts. It's disappointing. It's annoying. It's aggravating. It's like a mosquito bite sometimes that doesn't want to go away. Just when you think this mosquito bite is gone, then you start doing this and this and this. And then next thing you know, the mosquito bite gets all irritated. And right to the 11:59 moment yesterday, some of those people that say kind words to my face doing this behind my back think I don't know what went down yesterday. But it's all good. Like I said, January 1st going forward, one of my New Year's, I don't do New Year's resolutions. I do New Year's obligations. It is my obligation to all of you out there to stay focused, talk to you. Pardon my language, I am cutting the cursing out as much as possible in 2021. That doesn't mean that I can't curse. So to all those assholes out there, those two-faced assholes, I say it once and that is it. Fuck you. As far as I'm concerned, you all died in a nuclear accident, which is social media. So tonight we're going to talk about SmackDown. Couple other news tidbits here and there. I promised some of you out there that I would get into Impact Wrestling a little bit. But before I do anything else, even though this man despises, I don't want to say Trump. There's more than just Trump. And look, a lot of things about Trump has disappointed me as well. But to say that Mick Foley and I are on two opposite sides of the aisle as far as political views is an understatement. But I love that man to death. That man is good people. Yes, I feel some of his views, even social views, are a little bit out of whack, but that's his right. We live in a free country to have different views. And that's one thing that sucks in the current climate that we're in. You like AEW and I don't? I should make fun of you for it. unless someone dies. You like NXT and I don't, I make fun of you unless something tragic happens. I like rock and roll, you like this. I like Trump, you like Biden. I like pork, you like meat. You like cheese, you're a vegetarian. It's no more that we can't just disagree on topics respectfully. But Mick Foley, man, I'm not trying to make this lighthearted, but, you know, if I were ever to catch COVID, you know, and I'm not going to catch COVID. I take my precautions. Yes, one fall. I don't want to say my girl is back, but I think our girl is back. SONYA DEVILLE, welcome back to pro wrestling. So happy for her. We'll talk about Mick Foley in a second. So happy for SONYA DEVILLE to see her back. What happened to her, I wouldn't wish on the people that I hate the most. I mean, and remember, I always say, you got to also include, you know, Mandy Rose in this as well. Because Mandy Rose was in that house also. And that psychopath considered Mandy Rose the enemy. So it wasn't just, if I can't have you, no one can. That guy would have gotten his hands on Mandy Rose. My God, we have no idea what would have happened. So I always say, do not forget about Mandy Rose in this as well. But SONYA DEVILLE obviously was the prime target. And that, you just imagine that fear for the rest of your life. Just imagine, and there'll always be a little bit of fear there. And the thing about SONYA DEVILLE, and I think we could all agree on it, SONYA DEVILLE is one tough mother. And I say that with 1,000% compliments intended. She is one tough chick. Is that okay for me to say? One tough cookie. She is one tough cookie. Some other people out there, my God, I could only imagine what she went through and, you know, just the sleepless nights and everything. And you know what? Pro wrestling may be the best medicine for her right now. In fact, 2021, and this is not, you know, welcome back, SONYA DEVILLE. We'll see what she does. I saw, I think, Ryan Satin say tonight that he hopes that WWE explains why she's back on TV since she lost the Loser Leaves WWE storyline. I wholeheartedly disagree. Some things do not need to be fucking explained. We've had people lose or leave matches and they show up. We've seen that so many times over the years. The most infamous one in recent memory was CM Punk. I mean, this guy, you know, leave it alone. And by the way, I know a lot of you know about that list, that report card that he posted today. I'm going to get into it on Monday with Mish, especially because for the last 2 weeks, Mish and I have been having a great conversation on Breakfast Soup Raw about Mickie James. And man, I know it was not Ryan Satin's intention. I get along with Ryan Satin. I'm one of the few that I'm not blocked, and I get along, and I agree, and I disagree as well. But boy, that report card that he wrote, I thought was just a tremendous mistake. Talk about a morality killer. I mean, we'll talk about it Monday. I know a lot of you out there definitely want to hear what we have to say about it. But I thought that was such a mistake. You know what the worst part of that mistake was? And I'll say this now. You do it on New Year's Day. Matarats. What's wrong with you? Oh, man. Studs. You know what I think pro wrestling needs to do in 2021? I think pro wrestling needs to make 2021, I'll say it like this. Can't be a tribute show every week, obviously. Wednesday's Brodie Lee tribute show on AEW Dynamite, if you look at the matches and you look at the results, if AEW never existed and WWE would have done that, or TNA or any other promotion out there, you would have felt like, oh my God, it's so one-sided. Like every member of I said it Wednesday. You want the Cliff Notes version of Dynamite Wednesday? The Dark Order won. That's it. That's what it was. But even though the matches were so one-sided as far as who won and who lost, you didn't care. That episode of Dynamite is being heralded not only by the wrestling community, but by wrestlers united. I mean, you have WWE wrestlers, and it's not just about the Brodie Lee tribute, but you have WWE wrestlers publicly praising Tony Khan, publicly praising some of the wrestlers that, my God, did you see that awesome video that came out tonight? Britt Baker posted. And, I wanted to see the feedback, and 99% of it was wonderful. I guess they must have had a little bit of a holiday party to get everybody's mind off of this tragedy, obviously. And I guess in the corridor or wherever they were, you had Brodie Lee's son basically beating up various wrestlers. There's a video out there of Brodie Lee's son, Brodie Jr. Beating up Private Party. But getting back to Adam Cole, NXT superstar, NXT Male Wrestler of the Year. He gets leveled by Brodie Lee Jr. and pins him. So technically, Brodie Lee Jr. retained the AEW TNT Championship, pinning Adam Cole. I thought it was so cool. Yes, when wrestling starts to wrestling ends, suspension of disbelief. We're not supposed to believe that the good guys like the bad guys or they're friends. That's why, remember that infamous photo? I think WWE was in Italy. Roman Reigns was feuding with Braun Strowman. Remember my Braun Strowman? Just like all of you, I hate Roman Reigns. Like that big story. And they posed together in Italy. And somebody posted a photo. They took it down about 10 minutes later. Trying to keep a little bit of kayfabe. But in a case like this, nobody gives a shit. This is more about wrestling. And you know what I would like to see in 2021? Yes, I want to see fans back at events. In fact, today, I talked to a few people and talking to Mish tonight based on the idea that anybody who wants the vaccine should be able to get it by June, based on the idea that I have the vaccine by June. We want to book Florida now. We want to have a get-together, what we should have done last year for WrestleMania. We want to get together this summer. Now we want to book it. We want to go to NXT. We want to go to Dynamite. Now, obviously, they may be touring by June. We don't know. But, I want to enjoy myself. And I think, truly, and this is not trying to be PC. This is not trying to be smiling cake and ice cream. But I think for 2021, pro wrestling needs to be more of what we saw Wednesday. And what I mean by that is anybody out there that cared or cares about Brodie Lee, especially the whole Dark Order faction. And now, as I said yesterday, go check out Being the Elite. I think it's episode 236. I don't have notes in front of me. I think it's episode 236. I watched that 2.5 times already. I laughed my ass off. I mean, yes, there's a lot of strong language, but look at all those backstage segments with the Dark Order and Brodie Lee. And I don't have any paper handy, otherwise I'd throw it at the camera right now. And you see all of that, and you think of all of that, and then you go back and you check out Wednesday and how they had the match results. You go back when Eddie Guerrero died, and people made such a big deal that Chavo, I think, pinned Triple H, I believe it was at the time. And people are like, oh my God, Triple H let... And Chavo was doing the Curran White gimmick at the time, I think. I think he had the white hair still. Oh, my God, they let Curran White pin Triple H. Like, it felt like, wow. Wednesday, the whole night was, wow. I think 2021 needs to be simplified as far as pro wrestling goes. I think you have to have more feel-good moments. I think you need to have more of what fans really want to see. You know, you don't have to have all these matches always have some complicated storyline attached to it. Because especially with COVID right now, take note of the complicated storylines. Look at the complicated storyline. Yes, Seth Rollins was supposed to be back because they had the previews recorded already, and, you know, that's been a little delayed. But look at Retribution. That was such a complicated storyline. Look where it is now. Now that whole storyline is Ali is obsessed with Ricochet. Take a picture, it lasts longer. I don't know if you ever hear that phrase. I used to go out with my friends to clubs back in the 90s. And I'll never forget it. It wasn't me, trust me, because I don't have the balls. At that time, I didn't have the balls to go up to anybody. But I remember one time we were in a club, and my friend is dancing, and he's doing this, and he's right next to this really, really hot girl, and he's doing this, and everything. I look like the little fucking thing from Caddyshack, remember? Was the gopher? Gophers! I look like the gopher from Caddyshack. But he's dancing next to this girl. And the girl says to him, she says, well, take a picture, it lasts longer. You know, and that was her basically way of saying, like, leave me alone. Just take a picture. And you could look at me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Look at where the Retribution storyline has gone. Look at the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business was feuding with Retribution, feuding with the whole roster. They were taking charge. They were representing WWE. And now they're like downgraded to, you know, messing around with random goofs backstage. Look at the Mysterio family storyline with Murphy. Where is that gone? All these complicated stories. Look at The Fiend and Randy Orton. They tried to do this dramatic, extended storyline. And then they realize, shit, we can't keep The Fiend off of TV. We're at the lowest ratings in forever. You know, we're on the verge of lower ratings, so we can't do that. All of the complicated stuff ends up just dissipating, and it just falls flat. You know, look at today. Look at today. Oh, look at today. The Street Profits come out. New Year's resolutions. And one of their New Year's resolutions, Montez Ford, says the shirt he made last week, making fun of Sami Zayn, that says, I am not the Intercontinental Champion, that was going to be the biggest selling shirt of 2021. Okay. Ha, 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 ha. Then, because Dolph Ziggler, who's been doing a super kick for 95 years, suddenly Montez Ford knows about it now and calls him the Heartache Kid. Ha, 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 ha. So what happens? Ziggler and Roode come out and beat the shit out of the Street Profits. Okay, insta-feud, they get a fight for the title. Fine, no problem with that. Kayla Braxton interviews Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler after. And Kayla Braxton actually asked Dolph Ziggler, what was that about? With unprovoked, I have it written down. Why should I guess? I have it written down. Her words, for the most part, was, what's the reason for that vicious and unprovoked attack? What's the reason? I understand this is WWE telling her to say that. But seriously, they want to do more tributes to Brodie Lee. By the way, Big E's promo tonight, bringing up Audrey, bringing up Nolan, saying that he's got fans from Rome to Rochester, all little tributes to Brodie Lee. But if you want to do a little extra today, when Kayla asked that asinine, dopey, dumb question, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode should have taken a piece of paper and just threw it in her face. The fuck you talking about, this vicious and unprovoked attack? In storyline, the Street Profits just embarrassed the shit out of Dolph Ziggler. I live by that motto. Talk shit behind my back? Maybe I won't literally punch you in the face because I'll get arrested. And honestly, at my age, I'll probably get my ass kicked, you know? Things don't work like they used to. But I can write people off online. I unblocked about 50 people today because I wanted to start off the year nice and basically give some people a second opportunity to be a normal person. And we could agree or disagree on topics and stuff like that. But if you're going to giggle like a 10-year-old child of people calling me a pussy and stuff like that, no, you don't have the privilege of enjoying my shows. No, you don't have the privilege of being on my Patreon. No, you don't have the privilege of being on my YouTube. No, you don't have the privilege of being on my Twitter. So I unblocked a bunch of people today. Some people I probably shouldn't have. But the point is, you talk shit. What was that phrase? Wasn't that on a shirt? Talk shit, get hit. Something like that. Or get lit. Lit. Yes, Sam. The Toronto Maple Leafs. He brought up Toronto Maple Leafs. I love all the tributes. The wrestling world truly loved this man. And you want to know something too? And this is true, and I think everybody realizes it now. There are a lot of other Brodie Lees in pro wrestling. And we don't see that personal side of them until something happens. There are some wonderful gems on all promotions, and all you really see is just a snippet of what's online and maybe in an interview or a podcast here and there, but you don't understand how special some people are in pro wrestling until after they're gone. And that sucks. I mean, private life is private life. All right. Brodie Lee, kept his family life private. His family kept their family life pretty much private. And everybody respected that. But you see this outpouring of love and affection. And that's what I was saying before. Adam Cole, with Brodie Lee's son. And, some of you have asked me, in DMs today. And some of you in the chat may even ask it as well. How do I think WWE feels about this, of Vince McMahon and others? I truly believe Vince McMahon does have a heart, without a doubt. But at the end of the day, it's about business and it's about the bottom line. And I honestly feel, as much as I defend Vince McMahon on these shows, and you all know that, and I get a lot of, disagreement from you at times. But I think when Vince McMahon, maybe he doesn't go on social media, or maybe some of his stooges do, not as many as before, they probably tell him, yo. Well, they don't say yo to Vince. Maybe when he was the ECW champion with the do-rags, maybe then you said that. But I think people tell Vince, did you see the footage of your number one NXT star, Adam Cole, with Ricky Starks in the background and this and that, and AEW title in the picture and this and that? I truly believe, as much as I defend Vince, I think some of this really irritates him because he's got to sit there, he's got to take it. When you see armbands paying tribute to Brodie Lee tonight, various people, Bailey had it, Big E had it. They didn't put rest in peace John. They didn't put rest in peace Luke. They put rest in peace Brodie. And I'm telling you, I truly believe that Vince was not thrilled about that and has to take it. So anyway, but beautiful stuff online, beautiful stuff. So I wanted to make mention of that. Now, so we talked about SONYA DEVILLE. We talked about, that footage. Getting back to Mick Foley, best wishes to Mick Foley. What I was going to say earlier is that, some of you out there may understand when I say this. Like, if something bad is going to happen to you, like, you want it to be a big deal. Like, some people have said, if I'm going to die, it's got to be a spectacular death. I don't want to die in my sleep. That's boring. I want to go off a cliff. I want to be eaten up by sharks. I want to do this. I want to do that. Me, I hope I die in my sleep when it's time for me to go. Hopefully I'm in hospice and they inject so much pain medication in me. If I try to do a podcast, I'd be like, I'm not going to dribble and drop. I'd just be so in la la land, like, But my point is, I'm not going to get COVID. But if I get COVID, I want to get it by something big. I want to go to this gigantic party. If I was a single guy, I want to go to a fucking bar or a restaurant, pick up the hottest chick and find out, shit, I got COVID. But you know what? That night was incredible. You know, hey, it sucks I got COVID, but man, what an awesome way to get it. Or I go to the casino and I hit for like $100,000 and holy shit, look at that. And then I take my mask off inadvertently and I'm hugging strangers and that, and then the next day I got COVID. Like, if I'm going to get COVID, it's really got to mean something. Mick Foley got COVID on a virtual autograph signing. And I swear, look, I love Mick Foley. He's a saint, in my opinion. I've been professing, but I say this just lighthearted, jokingly. You get COVID at a virtual autograph signing? Who was there? 2 people? 3 people? Mick, look in the camera. Say hello. Have a nice day. And sign the thing. And he gets COVID from a virtual autograph signing. Oh, man. Oh, man, that sucks. That sucks. Seriously, I got COVID, and I happen to, like, be in the post office, and there's only one person there, and I got an itch on my nose, so I take the mask off for a minute. I get the mask on, I take it off for a minute so I can scratch my nose, but I don't realize doing this, I kind of wiped COVID all over my nose. You mean to tell me there was one person there, and that sucks. Oh, no, Neil, he's doing very, very well. That's why I can be a little lighthearted about it. He's had it for about 2 weeks already, and he's been quarantining himself, and he's doing well. And I wish Mick Foley, I said it earlier to him, nothing but the best. Heal up soon. I freaking love that guy. Seriously. I witnessed his sainthood up close and personal. I told you some of the stories over the years. That man, like I said, even though we're on 2 totally different sides of the aisle on a lot of social views and politics, he's a good man. He's a really good man. So Mick Foley is battling COVID, but he did a little video today. He looks well, and it's been about 2 weeks. So hopefully for him, the worst is over. So I wish him nothing but the best. Okay, I'm looking at my notes that I put down. 18 days he's had COVID. So for him, the worst should be over. And yeah, I wish him nothing but the best. Now, a couple other things I wanted to tell you in case you're interested. Because, look, I'll repeat what I said the other day in 2 or 3 sentences this time. I totally understood why WWE did not do a tribute video for Brodie Lee on Monday. They just didn't have enough time. And don't give me, and make the time. It's not that easy. They're putting tributes up on the website now. It's too late for them to put a full-blown video on Raw next week because people will be like, oh, it's a week too late. People don't understand. You saw people all week, you know, saying that WWE doesn't care this and that. And I rip WWE as much as everyone else, but most of those people that say that never worked in production, never worked in that. Most of them don't work right now. You know, they just see the visual aspect, the fan side of it, and like, wow, that's fun. But I think it is very fucked up that WWE did not do it minimum a 10 bell salute. They could have left the graphic on the screen and rang 10 bells. You didn't have to have people up the rampway. This is not somebody who was 75 or 80 that lived a hardy life and, you know, was his or her time to go. This was somebody 41 years old that was in great health 3 months ago, great family man, great friend to everybody out there, and 3 months later, he's gone. All right? Somebody like that, you know, and I don't like comparing it to other people, but, you know, can you imagine if Brodie Lee was 9? I mean, they would have, you know, handled this much differently. And it's just, they should have done a 10 bell salute at minimum. They should have done it at minimum. But now they're putting tributes online. And you want to know something? You know, for people out there that are now saying, oh, well, maybe WWE stepped aside and let AEW do their tribute because he was part of AEW right now, and that was the right thing to do. I say this with the utmost respect. What planet are you on? You know, people are just trying to find a logical answer on this, and there isn't. But WWE now is putting up tributes. Jason Jordan, man, I haven't seen him in a while, and he said some really heartfelt words. Everybody did, but his really got to me a little bit. Jason Jordan really made a nice little tribute. I mean, Xavier Woods, Big E, I could go down the list. But WWE on their network, I wanted to show you this. In January, they're putting up a lot of footage on the network. And as you could see, they do have something up there for Luke Harper. So let's go from left to right. In January, you're going to have documentaries the day of, and it's WWE TLC 2020. It's basically footage from the day leading up to the pay-per-view. WWE Untold, the AJ Styles' debut, Pat Patterson's story, WWE Chronicle, Bianca Belair. The day of, which is the Royal Rumble 2014, a lot of footage we've never seen before. They're going to pay tribute to Yokozuna. Steve Austin's Broken Skull session with Bayley. WWE Playback, the 2020 Royal Rumble matches. A roundtable with the first Royal Rumble match. Now, we have some air dates for some of this. The day of, for the TLC 2020, is going to air in 2 days, January 3rd. Check the WWE Network for the exact times. The AJ Styles Untold will premiere Sunday, January 17th. Pat Patterson documentary and the Bianca Belair Chronicle will premiere Sunday, January 24th. That roundtable for the Royal Rumble, and that roundtable is going to feature Natty, Mickie James, Nia Jax, and Charlotte. That is going to air January 27th. The Yokozuna documentary, I have it on here as Friday, January 29th, which I think may have been changed. But, you know, the Bayley Broken Skull session, that is going to air. I'm looking on my screen, and I don't see the date on that. That actually, you know what, it wouldn't surprise me if it's this week or next week. But they're also going to have the Royal Rumble event itself, NXT 205 Live. They're going to put up 13 additional episodes of Wrestling Challenge. And then we're going to have some best of, these are probably playlists. Roman Reigns' championship matches, the best of Luke Harper, Royal Rumble matches from the Attitude Era, Royal Rumble matches from the 2000s, and then you'll have your new episodes of all their podcasts and stuff that they do. So, you know, pretty nice January lined up for WWE, but definitely go on their website if you want to check out some of the tributes. I think it's also playing on YouTube as well. So props to them. Now, yesterday, while we were doing the New Year's Eve special, and by the way, like I said at the beginning, we had an awesome conversation yesterday. We went about 2.5 hours. It is going to return next Thursday. I haven't come up with a name yet. I'm going to think about it. If I cannot come up with something, I'm going to ask all of you for your input, maybe do a contest out of it. Actually, the more I think about it, why would I tease a contest and not do it? So the hell with it. Let's do a contest. Thursdays is going to be just casual conversation. When I turn the screen on, I will have no notes in front of me. The only thing I'll have in front of me are all of you. Wherever your conversation goes is where I go. And yesterday, it went on all sides of the spectrum. We had an awesome night last night. Yes, it was New Year's Eve, special circumstances, but it was cool. So Thursdays is going to be like, you know, just casual conversation. You know, someone said to me that, you know, I could, like, they have these things on YouTube, like, you know, on the couch, where they're just hanging out on the couch and talking about whatever. But I don't have a couch here. This is not a couch. This is an office chair. So in the comment section, You know, Tony Thursdays, that sounds like a steakhouse. Hey, let's go to Tony Thursdays, the TGI Fridays, Tony Thursdays. Or maybe we could have TGIT, you know, and, you know, TGIT. Thank God it's Tony. Stupid, right? Yeah. In the comment section, if you could come up with a name, and the name's got to be based, it's got to be simple, and it's got to be based on an idea that we just have some regular, casual conversation. I know somebody's going to probably like casual convo with DT, you know. Come up with some ideas. Well, I promise you, whatever the prize is, hell, you know what? It's New Year's. I'll do it. How's this as one of your options? This is not fake. Obviously, this is not bought from AEW either. This is heavy, heavy. If I drop this, it will make a loud sound. So how's this for you AEW fans out there? You come up with a name. Chilling with DT, I like that. But it's not going to be that easy, Devin. In the comment section. And you know what? This is how we're going to do it. Over the next week, I am going to choose the ones that I like the most. And then I'm going to let you all vote. I will obviously be the deciding vote, but I will let you all vote based on the ones that I like. And then I will pick one from that list. And if you're an AEW fan, it's been sitting here long enough, right? I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I originally got this. You get on eBay right now for probably like $350. So if you want to sell it on eBay, you can. I'm so tempted to drop it so you could hear how loud this is. But it's you know, it's a replica title, but it's all metal. You could hear that. It's not cheap, you know. I even have, I think, a couple of extra beads. You know those beads in case they fall off? Now, if you're not an AEW fan, I'll think of something else. I have a few ideas in mind. You know what I have? If you're into old school, I have in my office, I think it's framed. May not be framed, but I got a picture autographed by Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior together in the photo. And it has the Ultimate Warrior hologram from the Warrior himself. So you could match up the hologram. It's got a serial number on it. Maybe you want that. If you want something from today, maybe we'll do a cash prize. So, yeah. So, hey, when we're amongst family and it feels right, I do whatever. I do whatever. So I appreciate all of you out there. And, hey, if you're not an AEW fan, then I'll keep the title. Hey, maybe somebody out there will come up with a great name and say, no, DT, you keep the title. You keep the title. Fat chance. But, yeah, post ideas. I do want to keep the name as simple as possible, but I really want it to be something where it's, you know, down to earth. Like, see me, I'm on a keto diet. A lot of you know that already. There's a show that I watch that airs every Monday. They call it Keto on the Couch. And it's basically just about everyday stuff, what happened in the past week and this and that. But you get the vibe that it's just down to earth convo, you know, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So anyway, enough of the rambling. Like I said, I want to make this an early night because I got to get up super early tomorrow. And, you know, I got very little sleep already tonight. So who wrote this today? Steve Joseph. Keith Lee sounds like he... yes, man, Steve. Oh, my goodness. We talked about it yesterday. I'm a huge Keith Lee fan. You all know that. Last year, for the first like 20 episodes of Wednesday Night Dynamite, every couple of weeks, I would tell you who my favorite wrestler was in AEW and who my favorite wrestler was in NXT, and my favorite wrestler was Keith Lee. Love his work. I know his promos are a little bit odd, you know, like I have to listen to it and then impersonate him right after. But it's like, I remember when he first debuted. Greetings and salutations. My name. See, now I'm starting to sound Jewish. So I got to listen to it. And then I talk right after. But he paid tribute to Brodie Lee also. And I said to everybody yesterday, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a beautiful tribute. But when I watch him talking just in his normal tone and his normal cadence, paying tribute to Brodie Lee. Like, I said to myself, oh my God, I mean, he actually kind of talks like this in his personal life as well. And like, you know, obviously you just try to be a little funny about it. Like, could you imagine if he's intimate and stuff like that? Oh, yes, right there. No, not on that side, but go 2 inches to the right. You're very, very close. I think you have found the spot. You know, like, I can't do it right. I got to hear him first. But, and I've said Mean Gene Okerlund used to do that. I met Mean Gene Okerlund a couple of times through the years, and I would just try to, like, put a couple of sentences together, like, you know, I got to think, oh, that's very kind of you. I really appreciate that. And maybe if you then, I think that's how he talks. Seriously, I think Brodie Lee, you know, the tributes were beautiful, and I'm watching Keith Lee talk, and I thought he was talking to Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. So, and I'm not criticizing the guy. If that's your personality and that's how you talk, somebody said yesterday, like a Shakespearean cadence, no problem with that, if that's the case. But, you know, Keith Lee, yeah, he always sounds like he's cutting a promo. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Steve, you nailed it on the head. You nailed it on the head. Oh, DP Deadeye. Happy New Year, my friend. You look an awful lot like Bill O'Reilly. Anybody notice that? He looks a lot like Bill O'Reilly. I can tell by the tie. But you know, for those on audio only, David is a chef. And he lives in the country of Scotland. Home of... got my family in Scotland. I got to win. Got my family. Seriously, if I had a cheap mug right now, I'd break it on the floor. Seriously, I'd break it on the floor in tribute to Nikki Cross. In fact, the day that Nikki Cross wins a women's championship on WWE television again, in celebration, you know how Jewish weddings, whatever they say, and they break all the dishes on the floor? When Nikki Cross wins a women's championship, that night, on whatever show I'm doing, I will make sure if I have to get one of my regular coffee mugs, I will break it on the floor. In fact, I'll even do this. I'll even do this. I'll pretend I'm Nikki, and I'll write Nikki Cross on the bottom. I'll autograph the mug, and then I'll crack it. But David is from Scotland. I got my family in Scotland. I can't lose. Where is Nikki Cross fit in this storyline? What's going to happen with your SONYA Deville? I mean, are they going to pull the brakes on Bianca Belair? Because it felt like Bianca Belair, you know, not now, because Carmella ain't done with Sasha Banks yet. But where does SONYA Deville fit in all of this? Is she going to start beating up Natty? Is she going to start doing something with Billy Kay? Like, you know, remember, somebody's on Raw right now that rhymes with Randy. And also rhymes with El Dandy. And, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen over there. Yeah, maybe SONYA Deville feuds with Bayley. That's possible, too. But much love, David. Much love. Happy New Year as well. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, Ken, that's from yesterday. But I still wanted to post it because I can. Tune in to Tony. That's like when you're telling someone to tune into a show. It's like, not TNT, but TIT. Tune in to Tony. And yeah, actually it would be TI-double-T. Tune in to Tony. TI-double-T. So everyone, don't forget, TIT. But then you got to have the show. So I like the idea, teen gaming. So, but, you know, teens are not supposed to talk like that. Shame on you. Wash your mouth with soap. I know it's not a piece of paper, but holy shit, it's stuck to the wall. I kid you not. Oh, my God. It's stuck to the wall. There's no glue on there or anything. Oh, that's funny. Let's see if we could do it again. Pretend it's Brodie Lee. Nah, it didn't work. See, that's what I want to do on Thursdays. Just whatever we talk about. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, give me SmackDown results already, damn it. Give me Impact. I want that show to have, like, no format. You know, maybe we call it the hot mess. You know, that's like a name that I would like. Check out Thursday. Tune in to Tony for the hot mess. The hot mess. The hot mess is inside. So anyway. Oh, we were talking about Dolph and Robert Roode. And although it seems like an Acme Insta feud, anybody notice their shirts today? I actually think I'm going to get one. Check this out. That's their shirts. I like their shirts. I think that actually, now let's be honest, everyone. When you look at that shirt, what's the first thing you think of? You think of Roman Reigns. It's the big dog. It looks like the same goddamn dog. Now, why is white and why is one black? I mean, I know it's not actually, I think that's just the shade of Ziggler because, you know, Roode's shirt looks like that. But that looks like the same dog. We got the big dog. Now we got the dirty dog. Sounds like a sex maneuver. Yo, man, I picked up this chick yesterday. I did the dirty dog on her ass. So, dirty dogs. But I like that shirt. I like that shirt. I think that shirt's pretty cool. So, guys, you want me to bring up the rest of SmackDown now? Yeah, let's bring up the rest of SmackDown. And then I'll mention a couple of things about Impact, because Impact, let me tell you something. It's no secret the AEW Impact storyline has been a very, very, very messy, very scattered. It's not a tight storyline. You know, you got weeks of nothing, you know, which is a little bit ridiculous. Yes, this past Wednesday, we understand why. And it's the holidays too. But I truly, 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 truly believe this, that starting this coming week, that storyline gets upped a notch, maybe even upped 10 notches. They really have to set this son of a bitch on fire. You know, it's like if you have like a long wick and you want to, I'm saying like a cartoon. I'm not saying like that dickhead in Nashville. You know, you like in a cartoon with the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, you light the fuse for a bomb. You know, you light the fuse. You don't want the fuse to go so long, you know? It just, no, you have, at some point you got to see, you know, so they have lit the fuse. And this is 1 week. Here's the end result. Here's Wile E. Coyote getting, you know, a whole bunch of stuff in his face. Okay, here's the result. And here is the storyline with Kenny Omega and Moxley and AEW and Impact Wrestling. Light the fuse. Wait, what are the dates here? Let me look at the dates. Hold on. Okay, here we go. All right, this is what it's like. Hold on. There we go. Okay. November 25th. December 2nd. December 9th. December 16th. December 23rd. December 30th. Now, this week, you need that to have that shit explode. The mega powers explode! You need Clash. You need Rich Swann at minimum to show up on AEW. You need something further. I understand the Tribute Wednesday, but I'll repeat it. They have totally fucked up Jon Moxley's character. If you remember him losing that championship, and I've said it every single week since he lost it, his whole character and everything Moxley's done in AEW, he should have showed up that following Wednesday, come through the crowd, not even park his car, you know, get out of the car while the car's not even in park yet and just let it roll down the thing and run into the dumpster or something. And he storms to the ring and he's throwing people aside and he puts a chair in his ring. I'm not leaving until that prick bastard Kenny Omega and that stooge Callis gets in the ring now. I'm not screwed, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. You could have had him taken out. You could have had him have the shit knocked out of him. He could have beat up officials, and Tony Khan on social media could have suspended him, and that's the easy way off TV. Kevin Owens today on SmackDown, that's the easy way. Now they have a couple of different paths to go with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. So this needs to go quickly. So anyway, let's talk about SmackDown, and then we'll get into a couple of things with Impact. So anyway, SmackDown opens up with Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Paul Heyman. They go to the ring. Lot of piped in boos. By the way, did you hear those yes chants? I mean, good for the fans for doing this on a thing. Now, I've been on Thunderdome enough where you have Adam Cole or somebody in their ear going, all right, everybody, when I say now, big yes chant, come on, everybody, let's do it. Come on, right now. And you hear that sound going through the soundboard. Even though that is piped in like on steroids, you're a wrestler. That's like entrance music. You know what I mean? Like people come out to entrance music, you get pumped up. I mean, I remember when the Steiners used to come out to Welcome to the Jungle. And I remember that whole beginning, if you know that song, Welcome to the Jungle, Bam Bam Bigelow used to come out to it. And as soon as it would go, you'd be like, your head was going to explode. Like you were so pumped up. Even the Road Warrior, there's some songs, The Ultimate Warrior. And that sound is like entrance music for Daniel Bryan and others. But they piped in, and that is one thing that if you remember me in the summertime, I said WWE has got to pipe in that shit and pipe it in loud. Forget about social media saying, oh, that's fake. Motherfucker, everything you see, you think you saw Wednesday or Ring of Honor or MLW or New Japan, no, that's real. Everything is a form of entertainment. From this, the soundboards, to the people in the ring, it's a form of entertainment. Everything is part of it. Everything is part of it. They've done a great job with that. But the boos are really piped in. And you know what I would love for Roman Reigns to do right now? They haven't done it yet. They used to do it with, they did it with Roman Reigns in the past. Oh my God, one of my favorite Roman Reigns moments of all time, when he beat The Undertaker. Remember when he came out on Raw the next night, and every time he wanted to say something, the crowd would just, Jericho. Remember when Jericho was trolling the fans when he first came? But Roman Reigns especially, like every time he was about to say, this is my yard now, whatever it was, the crowd, the boos would just get louder. They should do that with Roman Reigns right now. Roman Reigns going out and saying Happy New Year and this and that, sarcastically, obviously. He just does the whole sentence. He should try to say a word or two, and whoever does the soundboard, I don't know if I could kind of do this, but you see like this? Like when Roman Reigns starts talking, you do like this. Like you make it louder. And they haven't done that. Yeah, what Jericho did in Brazil. I mean, look, Jericho, that if you all don't know that story about Jericho in Brazil, he's told it on podcasts. I think it's on YouTube. They thought he was going to get arrested. I still got the footage of when JBL did the goose step in Germany. I had that shit on my website, and I had requests from WWE to take it down. I don't know if it's still available online, but I still got the footage. I still have all my media from 20 some odd years ago. I have all my old hard drives, my old server from when it was WrestleGuide. Anybody remember when I had WrestleGuide.com? I have wrestling-news.com since 1999. I owned WrestleGuide.com before that. I still have those old files. They're just sitting in a computer, just waiting to be shared with everybody out there. Even when that guy that died in 2020 that had, was it WrestleCrap? I think it was the WrestleCrap website. Some of you will remember. He passed away this year. I have so much. Was it WrestleCrap? I think it was. I have all their server because back then I used to submit some stuff and they let me save it on my hard drive. I kept it. I kept it. Yeah, VJ. Look, maybe Thursdays. We do a little retro stuff. I'll put pictures. I'll post all the old stuff. Oh, man, no. But it doesn't, Wrestle Crap doesn't sound right. Wrestle Crap was a book. What was the website? The guy that passed away earlier this year. We paid tribute to him, too. What was that website called? It wasn't Wrestle Crap. It was something else. Oh, man, it's right on the tip of my tongue, too. Someone in the chat will remember. They'll remember, and I'll shout him out for sure. But anyway, you got Roman Reigns and Jey Uso and Paul Heyman in the ring. And Roman Reigns tonight talking about how, it's Jey Uso's night, and, he's wishing everybody Happy New Year. And he says everything he touches turns into gold, turns into greatness. He said he always knew that Jey Uso would be the main eventer. I think he called him Main Event Uso. Main Event Uso. Wow, somebody still doesn't have that name. It was a spoof website. He passed away this year. I remember we paid tribute. 411. No, it wasn't 411. But damn, I'm drawing a blank right now. It was a satire wrestling website. Damn, I'm drawing a freaking blank. And it was such a funny website. I still have all those files. I start putting them up there. You will crack up laughing. Because remember, this was before WCW went out of business. This was before ECW went out of business. I mean, it was some pretty wild shit that was being put out there. I mean, but somebody will remember. So anyway, they're in the ring. Kevin Owens' music hits. And Roman Reigns is like, cut his music off. Cut the music. Like, why do you keep coming out here? What do you want, crumbs and this and that? And he's like fed up with Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens, they're teasing another match with Jey Uso. Now, I've enjoyed the matches with Jey Uso and Kevin Owens, but I don't know if I really wanted to see that again tonight. And honestly, I think if you go back and you watch that main event tonight between the two, I think we could all say with the utmost honesty that was the worst of all the Jey Uso, Kevin Owens matches. They went to a commercial break. And when they came back, Jey Uso's climbing the top, misses the splash, Roman Reigns hits the cutter, over. It felt rushed because obviously you knew there was going to be a big beatdown afterwards. It wasn't squared circle sirens. It was something wrestling something or wrestle something. Yeah, you know what? No, I don't think it was Wrestle Crap. I don't think it was Wrestle Crap. Wrestle Crap sounds too perfect. Wrestle Crap came out with the book. You know what? You could very well be right. But you know what I will do? I promise you. As soon as this show is over, I will go into my old hard drive and I will pull up the folder with all the stuff in it, and in the comment section, or maybe when I put the timestamps, in fact, you know what? The timestamp right now is at 60 minutes. I'll put it in the timestamp too. Oh, Bob Ryder, I've said a lot of stuff in the past, and maybe he deserved to be made fun of, but no, the wrestling website was all a satirical site. So I'll mention it later. Maybe it was Wrestle Crap, but that just sounds too perfect. I don't think it was Wrestle Crap. Trust me, with Wrestle Crap is kind of like in the wrestling dictionary now. If I had the entire website of Wrestle Crap and it's part of the dictionary, I probably would have, used it a lot more or made claims to some of that stuff. But yeah, I'll remember it later. I'll definitely remember it. So Roman Reigns, wants another match with Jey Uso. And I don't know, Kevin Owens points out to Jey Uso, he helped Roman Reigns win last week. And if it's, and that's pretty much the teaser tonight. We think Kevin Owens is going to face Jey Uso. And again, I like them two going at it. But tonight was the I don't want to say worst because it was a fun match, but it was the least, as far as of all the matches that they have had in the last couple of months, this one was probably the worst one of them all. So I don't remember Michael's name right now. I'm drawing a blank and I'm so exhausted physically and emotionally from this week. It's not just the passing of Brodie Lee. I'm honored to pay tribute. Put that shirt on. I'm honored that I knew I was a big fan of his. So it's sad, no doubt about it. It also kind of fucks with your head because you're saying to yourself, my God, I'm almost 10 years older than this guy, you know, and look at all the shit I went through and others. Then I think about family, and then you got the holidays, and then you got, you know, New Year's coming in, and then you can't do this, and you get, it's just like a domino effect, nonstop. So, but look, Benjamin says he's surprised that the Owen storyline is continuing. No, I disagree with you. The reason why is because we got the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble is the land of Acme Insta-feuds. You win the Royal Rumble, you don't have to have a storyline in advance with a champion. You win the Royal Rumble, that's it. You got your title shot. There's the beginning of the storyline. So, Mish and I talked about it about a month and a half ago, that we wanted to see Sheamus and Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. Now, it could still happen. We don't know. Something is going to happen on Raw Monday that may lead to that match. But I do not believe for 1 second Drew McIntyre is going to face Sheamus at WrestleMania. Although that is a good personal feud, and they'll have a lot of old footage before they even got into WWE, which it'll make the storyline very, very solid. But I get this repeating dream that Brock Lesnar is going to show up at number 30, is going to win the Royal Rumble, and it's going to be the reverse. Brock Lesnar challenges Drew McIntyre. And where does Paul Heyman fit in all this? That's the repeated dream. Early on, I wanted Big E to win the Royal Rumble and maybe challenge Roman Reigns, and that could very well still happen. It's still many months away. That doesn't mean that Big E is going to keep this title all the way into Mania. He could, but I just keep thinking, oh, can you imagine, number 30, Brock Lesnar's music hits, especially if you still have some monsters in the ring like Strowman and Keith Lee and this. Oh, man. Oh, man. Some people are like, no, DT, we don't want that. We don't want that. Roger Rubio, Craig does not work in here. Craig does not work in here. Craig record. Craig, suck my Dick Tracy. Craig. Oh, my God. Like, I don't have it handy. Man, I think I have it handy. I don't think, well, maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I got two digital Zoom recorders here. I have Hindenburg software recording right now. I got my Rodecaster mixer recording right now. And I have 2 digital recorders. Like, if you're going to do a podcast, I mean, learn how to fucking hit a record button in the computer. Craig, record. I said, Craig, record. I mean, what's going to be next? Craig, save. Craig, upload. Craig, promote. Craig, make money. Craig, collect. Craig, fuck you. Roger Rubio, wearing the same hat. Oh, yeah, yeah. Look, I still got it here. I still got it here, just for you. Just for you. It's New Year's, everybody. We could laugh a little bit. There you go. Yeah, for Roger Rubio. I got my hat. I could make it say anything, but I got my hat that says hat. Just like I have the shirt that says shirt. Yeah, I think Brock could return. Nice little jolt to Monday Night Raw. Question is Paul Heyman also manage Brock? Would that be an interesting storyline? That the head of the table is not happy that the beast of the table, the Beastmaster, whatever you want to call him. Lone Wolf has no idea who Craig is. Okay, Lone Wolf. Let me explain what Craig is. On Discord, the chat room, Discord, that server, they have a program. Discord doesn't have it, but there's a program out there that you could incorporate with Discord that if you're chatting on Discord, like audio chat, you could type in, for Craig, type in record. And what happens is some company out there actually records whatever audio is going through on Discord. And then when you're done, you're supposed to write, like, type in Craig leave or Craig stop. The problem is that you don't pay any money. And if you're going to do a podcast and rely on some type of company that's not taking money from you, that is not very reliable. And, you know, you're going to do a show. You have to put some type of expense into your work. And, you know, if you're on the road and you don't have your equipment with you, you know, I can understand using that as some type of a backup, but there are loads and loads of podcasts out there that only rely on this software. And you get, there's an old saying, you get what you pay for. Seriously, you go to a supermarket, oh my God, look at these steaks, they're $2.99 a pound. And then you bite into it and you're like, hey, you don't do it. You get what you pay for. That's why, like I said, I got 2 digital recorders. I go overboard because when I started podcasting here back in like 03, 04, I had at least a dozen times in the early years that we'd be doing a show like the Minority Report, and all of a sudden I get the blue screen of death. Anybody remember those, the blue screen of death? And my computer would just shut off and it'd come back and lost the whole recording. There was once or twice early on that I'd be 2 hours into the show and then I'd look and I'd be like, oh, fuck, I forgot to hit record. I kid you not. Sometimes you get a power outage. You get a little flicker of power in the summertime, that little brownout, and you lose the recording. And I used to use a program called Gold Wave, and I try to find like if it had a temporary file, nothing. So back in those days, I'm like, you know what? I use a program in a computer. I use my Rodecaster Pro. I have the digital. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Look. Digital Zoom. Digital Zoom. This thing is probably like, what, $200? You could buy it on eBay used for about $50. That's the Zoom H5. This thing is awesome. You could plug in mics with it. You can plug in 2 mics and go like, if you go to like an autograph signing, you go to like C2E2 in Chicago, this is what they use. They plug in 2 mics and you start talking. I forget how you power it on, but there's batteries in here too. There's a battery pack. I think, yeah, look, 2 batteries. So you mean to tell me you can't go on eBay for $40, buy one of these, get a pair of batteries, and that's it. You hook up the audio and you got your show. That's all it is. These things are laying around. I got these just laying around. So easy shit, easy shit. It's not brain surgery to do a show. So you mean what's more reliable? You plug your computer into this. You got the battery. You could see the levels. Man, I'd love to turn this on to show you what it looks. You could go on YouTube and just type in Zoom H5. Or would you just rather sit there and go, Craig, record. Craig, are you awake? Craig, is it something that I said? Craig, you look sexy today. I'd really appreciate if you record. Oh, you're turning me on. Oh, I want to turn you on right now. Come on, man. Teleport back in time. Oh, yeah, I shut the hat off that said hat. So anyway, Kevin Owens wants to have a match with Jey Uso. All right, nice. So now we have Big E come out, and he's got a tribute to Brodie Lee. Beautiful, loved it. He is taking on King Corbin with his Knights of the Lone Wolf, Steve Cutler and Wesley. Now, if he's a lone wolf, why does he still have the crown? Like, you know, I can't use that comparison. That's messed up. But is he a king or is he a lone wolf? Is he the king wolf? I mean, what is that? I'm the king of the wolves? Ow! Like, what is that? These are the Knights of the Lone Wolf. So anyway, he takes on Big E. Sami Zayn is on commentary. And the next thing you know, right near the beginning of the match, Sami Zayn hits the ring. And it was cool because at one point during the match, what's that move that the Gator roll? I think that Brodie Lee used to do, Luke Harper, when he put the headlock and roll on the floor. Big E was doing. Big E paid a really nice tribute to Brodie Lee today. Not only in the ring, not only with the band and doing some moves, but even in the promo, like I said earlier. But Sami Zayn hits the ring, causes the DQ, and Sami Zayn and the Knights and King Wolf, beating down Big E. And, you're saying to yourself, okay, what random person is going to hit the ring? Because we're not going to hear, it's a new day. Yes, it is. No, we hear, Apollo! And Apollo Crews hits the ring, clears house. We go to commercial immediately. So as soon as they go to commercial and Big E and Apollo are in the ring, in the back of your mind, you're doing this. Teddy Long style, player. We come back and we got a tag team match. And the match was fun. In the end, Sami Zayn had a little bit of miscommunication or a little bit of argument with King Corbin, King Wolf, whatever he is. At one point in the match, Sami Zayn is outside the ring yelling at King Corbin's henchmen. And then he goes back in the ring and they're having some words. And, King Corbin's like, I have had enough of this. And he walks away, leaving Sami Zayn for himself. The Gator Roll. Yes, the Gator Roll. Absolutely, man. Nice. A lot of little tributes to Brodie. I tell you, man. I don't like comparing deaths. Never did. Some people are like, oh, which death are you most affected by? I mean, I've said mine before, but I don't like comparing deaths. But I will tell you, I was on the internet before it ever became the internet. I was on the internet like 1991, 1990, something like that. Because I remember I was dating this girl that looked like Cornelius from the Planet of the Apes. I've told this before on Patreon. I never understood at the time why my friends would call her Cornelius. I never liked Planet of the Apes. I never watched Planet of the Apes. I never followed it. And I would date her and she had like a giant forehead, and it looked indented. You ever see Michael Jackson Thriller's music video? You ever see when he turns into the zombie? And he's got that forehead and it's beating out. It looks like Triple H when you thought that he was doing some enhancements and then his forehead started bulging out. If you remember Michael Jackson when his face was gray and he's doing like this, that's what the forehead looked like. It looked like, that's exactly what I call it. And they used to call her Cornelius. Hey, Cornelius, Cornelius. Oh, you can hang out with Corn? I never understood why they called her Cornelius. But she had this giant forehead. Why did I bring her up? So anyway, my point was this. When I was dating her in 1990, she is the first person that had the internet. I would go over her house, she'd have a computer, and you would just see text, plain text. And it would be like a chat room. But it would just be, I'm sure there's YouTube videos everywhere when you look at the early days of the internet. It was just a text conversation. There was no website. You'd connect with a modem, and next thing you know, oh, I'm talking to John from Italy. That's what it was. So my point is, I've been on the internet since it started. And I remember when Eddie passed, Brian Pillman and Owen Hart, and the list goes on and on. There were some deep tributes, obviously, especially for Owen and Eddie, because it was so tragic. Owen, probably the most tragic. And like I said, I don't like comparing deaths because each one has affected us deeply. But I could honestly tell you, you look at that era, and it's a shame because of all the competition and because you didn't have social media. A lot of these wrestlers were not able to personally communicate on the internet like they do now. I mean, people may remember back in the day when WWE did not want wrestlers to have their own websites. They absolutely refused it. They didn't even want them communicating. There was a point where WWE hated the internet. They probably still hate the internet now to an extent, but they hated it so much, and then eventually they embraced it and realized the amount of money that could be made from it. But of all the deaths, as far as social media goes, I got to tell you, man, and again, it's hard to compare other deaths when you didn't have Twitter and Facebook at that time. But watching the amount of tribute to Brodie Lee and all the personal stories and people publicly expressing their love and using his name that was used in a rival promotion instead of his real name or Luke Harper. I mean, come on, the guy was in WWE for forever, you know? So to see WWE wrestlers not even referencing him as Luke Harper, that's something that I have really never seen before. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, Owen Hart didn't go by another name, and they didn't call him the Blue Blazer, and Eddie Guerrero didn't go by another name, and they say Latino Heat. You know, like, I understand some wrestlers use their real name, but the point is that the amount of love and being able to express it however you want. There was a time you would have never, ever, ever seen Adam Cole with the TNT Championship in the background, no matter what the sad or tragedy it was. There was a time you would not have seen that. So this is refreshing, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I say it like that, Neil, because that's how Jerry Lawler used to say it. Oh, look, it's Latino Heat. So anyway, Big E, nice tributes to Brodie Lee today. We end up with the tag match, and King Corbin walks away. Sami Zayn saying that he can handle it on his own. Big E is knocked outside the ring, so we pretty much have Apollo Crews and Sami Zayn in the ring. And to give Sami Zayn a little bit of a rub, you know, basically what they do is they have Sami Zayn get hit with an enziguri, and then Apollo Crews hits the powerbomb, gets the pin. Then you realize later on why they did all this for Apollo Crews, because they want Apollo and Big E to fight each other next week. I have no problem with it. Apollo Crews is uber talented. But tonight was the perfect example of an Acme Insta-feud, like quick storyline out of nowhere. Like random person saves the day for the champion, becomes impromptu tag match. Random person who saved the day that's now in the impromptu tag match gets the pin, and then the champion thanks him, and he's like, well, if you really want to thank me, you can give me a title shot next week. That's pretty much what we got. No problems with it, but, you know, it is what it is. Now we have a backstage segment with Kevin Owens and Adam Pearce. Kevin Owens wants a match with Jey Uso. Adam Pearce says, no, can't happen, blah, 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 blah. You know why, this, that. So they bring up their days wrestling, I think of Ring of Honor. You know, Adam Pearce was his boss. If you remember Adam Pearce, wasn't he like the booker of Ring of Honor at the time? And Kevin Owens, bringing up when Adam Pearce used to tell him that the only people that matter are the fans out there. You got to do it for them. So he's basically putting it back in Adam Pearce's face and says, give the fans what they want tonight. I want Jey Uso. Adam Pearce says, no, I'll give you anybody else. Kevin Owens says, okay, give me Roman Reigns. And then Adam Pearce is like, all right, I'll give you Jey Uso. All right, give you Jey Uso. Roman Reigns is not happy. In fact, they did a segment later on where Roman Reigns, he's sitting, Paul, find out who is the person that doesn't give a shit about us. Like, who's the one that made this match? And I'm saying to myself, Roman, you always stand sideways. You ever see them standing in front of the monitors in the back? I mean, every segment that Roman Reigns has done with Kevin Owens in the last 2 months, whenever Kevin Owens is in the ring or something's going on, you always see in the back, Roman Reigns. The screen is here, but he's like this, sideways. Today, maybe Roman was taking a dump. Maybe the tribal chief had to take the tribal dump. And he didn't see Kevin Owens talking to Adam Pearce. It is what it is. So we got that match later on. And I like the Riot Squad. I like Natty. I like Tamina. Mish likes Tamina even more. I still don't know if it's a running gag with Mish or if he legitimately likes her that much. I think the Riot Squad versus Natty and Tamina, I think they wanted to make a little history today. I think they wanted to be in the running for the worst match of 2021. It was not that bad, but it was like, put it this way. Yesterday, when I brought my fiance in here, all right, I had this music playing in the background. We were having a nice little toast. Cheers, everybody. Happy New Year. Got her to give me a little kiss. Thank you. And, like you're playing music. And it was just a nice environment. Fireworks were going in the background. No fireworks last night inside. I passed out at 5 a.m. My point is, if you were to take the sounds from the match and the commentary and replace it with music instead, the perfect music that you could assign to that match that we saw tonight would have been Cyndi Lauper from last night. I didn't see any of that until after this show was over. Did you all witness Cyndi Lauper's song yesterday on New Year's Eve? Oh, God, please, 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 even if you never liked Cyndi Lauper, you got to go check out her live performance yesterday. Please. Somebody has to take her song from yesterday, singing, and put that music to that match. That's what it sounded like. Eddie Chaos, did you not see it or you don't want to see it? Oh, no, please. I used to be a fan of Cyndi Lauper. I'm still a fan of Cyndi Lauper's. I feel bad for her with that commercial. You ever see that commercial? Because I do have that skin disorder. I have problems over here. I have rosacea a little bit. But she had it where, she's like, oh, I had it all over my body. Got all over my, like she had like scabs and scars everywhere. And that shit hurts. So I feel bad for her. What's that commercial? Roastix or something like that? Roastix sounds like a candy. But that performance yesterday, I don't know what the hell that was. I thought that somebody took the music and like made it like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Like, what is that? I don't know what that was. But if you haven't seen it, please, you'll thank me. You might curse me out also, but you'll thank me. This match with the Riot Squad, Tamina and Natty, was not good. That opening sequence with Liv and Natty, oh man, it was not good. And then Tamina and Ruby Riott, you could smell the brain farts in the ring. And to make it worse, we got Billie Kay outside the ring. And she's kind of like coaching Tamina and Natty because they don't have a fucking clue what to do with Billie Kay. Trust me, nobody in the back 4 months ago and says, we've got this master plan. Billie Kay is just going to like show her resume to everyone. But in the end, she's going to be the manager of champions. She is going to be a future women's manager. They have no clue what to do with her. So they have her out there kind of coaching Natty and Tamina. But when the Riot Squad towards the end get the upper hand and eventually win, Billie Kay is kind of like acting like she's coaching for them. And when the Riot Squad win, yeah, VJ, I agree, man. VJ makes a point. Cyndi Lauper is 67. So, yes, I agree your point. But this is how I look at it. If I'm much older and I got more chins than a Chinese restaurant and I got not abs, it looks like a 6-pack, but it's really like a 34-pack. And it's, and I used to be like a calendar model. Like if somebody asks me and I'm 67 and I don't look good anymore, I'm not going to do it for nostalgic purposes. And this is why I don't give Cyndi Lauper a break here. I guarantee you, leading up to New Year's Eve, Cyndi Lauper may be in her hotel, maybe in her house, maybe in the cab, maybe in the limousine, somewhere leading up to last night, she's doing la 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 la, time after time. Like she's singing, they're rehearsing. It's called rehearsals. The minute you hear that and it sounds like cats fucking and it sounds like Dean Douglas on a chalkboard, somebody's going to be like, yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Little tribute to Shaq Gaspard. Yo, 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 yo. Maybe we need a little lip syncing going on over here. You know, they let it happen. It's not like she stepped on a nail first and she got high pitched or somebody accidentally knocked her in the groin. So they knew what they were getting. That was not good, man. But I tell you, Cyndi Lauper looks... Wait, there is no way Cyndi Lauper's 67. I just thought about it for a minute. I used to have a crush on her, and there's no way that Cyndi Lauper was almost 20 years older than me. Well, somebody out there, please get me Cyndi Lauper's age. There is no way she's 67 years old. Think about that. WrestleMania 1985, which was 35 years ago, that would have made her 32. There is no way Cyndi Lauper was 32. She was a lot younger than that. No. I could see if Cyndi Lauper is like 59, 60 at the most. There's no way that she's 67. There's no way. Somebody go check it. No way. Are you serious, Michael? Holy shit. She is. Neil, Genesis, Neil again. So I can met Roger Rubio, Sam's. Oh my God, she is 67. Holy cow. So as a teenager, I was using Jit-Gel rags on a 32-year-old. But wait a minute, we're supposed to find that perverted because Murphy is 32 and Aaliyah is 19. You're not supposed to have that age difference like that. Wow, she's 67. She looks awesome for 67. But she don't sound awesome for 67. This match tonight was not good. Riot Squad get the win. I'm sorry. They're trying to put this momentum on the Riot Squad to get a tag team title shot. And ain't no way that you're going to, in my opinion, pull off a really good match with the Riot Squad versus Charlotte and Asuka. I mean, yes, Charlotte and Asuka could wrestle this bottle of liquid and put on a great match. But, man, that is a hard sell, especially with what we saw tonight. So, wow, she is 67. God bless her, man. Seriously. Notice other than the opening match tonight and the close, we had a lot of tag team matches tonight. A lot of tag team matches. Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair versus Bayley and Carmella with Reginald. And Reginald, if you remember, Reggie. By the way, somebody gave me a Reggie Jackson autographed jersey for Christmas. I kid you not. I got it yesterday. And I was blown away by it. But, like, I don't keep, like, baseball memorabilia hung anymore, so I might have to, like, put it on eBay or give it away or something. Like, what do I do with it? You know, like, stare at it? But Reginald, if you remember, when we talked about his bio, he's from, like, Circus du Soleil or something like that. Somebody in the chat, what's it? He was part of this choreographic dance. Like, that guy does a lot of acrobatics. He signed with WWE to wrestle and to develop his wrestling career. But someone out there, correct me, because I know I am wrong. It's like Cirque du Soleil or something like that. But he is very, very talented with that stuff. And he got to do Circus du Soleil, Cirque du Soleil, something like that. But yeah, that's what he was involved in. He's very, very talented guy. He got to do a flip today. And basically, he distracts Sasha Banks a little bit. Carmella hits the X Factor on Sasha Banks, gets the win. And Corey Graves with a quote tonight that I didn't think made sense. Corey Graves says that Carmella jumps to the front of the line with the pin on Sasha Banks. And I'm like, jump to the front of the line. They just had a pay-per-view match and a feud for the last month or so. What do you mean jump to the front of the line? Who did she pass over? You know? So it feels like we're going to have another match between Sasha and Carmella. It's going to be interesting if Carmella still is part of the Women's Royal Rumble. If they do not put Carmella in the Women's Royal Rumble, she will have a return match with Sasha, and that will raise the stakes as far as who wins the Women's Royal Rumble. My early pick was Bianca Belair. I'm not so sure. You know, WWE has a tendency, you bring someone to the main roster, and usually they bypass that first WrestleMania. Like, they may get a spot, but they usually don't get the push that quickly. It usually goes the extra year. So it almost feels like Bianca Belair may have a really good 2021, but I don't know if they're going to put her in the women's title hunt at WrestleMania. Look, it's early for now, and I'm fine if she wins the Women's Royal Rumble. I'm just not sure if that is going to happen. Let's see. Somebody asked about Ronda Rousey. Okay, Steve Joseph. Do I think Ronda Rousey will be back? And she's training a little bit. I mean, I don't know what happened with the baby situation, but, you know, let me tell you something. If Ronda Rousey really wanted to return, she should have returned already. And I'll tell you why. Because she wasn't thrilled about fans, obviously. And yeah, social media can really get to you more than anything else. But Ronda Rousey, think about it. Just think about it for a minute. Ronda Rousey would have had a pretty easy go at it, especially with Becky Lynch leaving to have a child. Ronda Rousey would not have had to have toured, would have stood pretty much at the Performance Center or, you know, Tropicana Field or, you know, so she would have been in one spot. She wouldn't have. Charlotte was injured. Becky left to have a baby. Kairi Sane is in Japan. If there was ever a time that Ronda Rousey should have returned and had a much easier time in it, it would have been during this COVID. So it's not too late, obviously, because it's still going to be a while before things start to change with touring and everything else. All those goofs last year that said that WWE will never return to house shows, they don't know. Whatever they're smoking, give me some. But she would have had such an easy time right now. That's why I think Shayna Baszler fit in so well after such a rocky start. Becky's gone. Charlotte was gone. And she got to dominate a lot more people and they tried to have competitive matches with Dana Brooke and others, and you could see how bad it stuck out. It would have been the opposite if Shayna would have been forced to have those type of matches versus an Asuka or Charlotte or Becky Lynch or someone like that. So Ronda Rousey should have really, and SoFly says Ronda is having too much success with her social media platforms. You know what? That's an excellent point, man. That's an excellent point. You know, we forget about WWE and the thing with Twitch and all this other stuff. And by the way, I know a lot of people don't like when I try to give myself credit, but I told you, WWE, they got to be careful, man. Something has got to give with them and Paige, because there are a lot of people there that want to do what Paige is doing, and Paige, they are forced to sit there and take it and take it and take it. And meanwhile, seriously, if I'm a WWE wrestler that is more about the business side than having a career there, I'd be on the phone with my lawyer saying, how does this get to stay like this, but I can't? Benjamin, what happened to Paige? She's still on Twitch. She's still doing what she's doing. She is saying, fuck it, and she's still doing what she's doing. And other wrestlers got to be irate about that. It's not Paige's fault, but something's got to give. In fact, I will tell you, don't be surprised in the first quarter of 2021, you see some type of legal suit as far as WWE either suing or being sued or being challenged about the situation with Twitch and everything else. And Paige might be the example as far as what other people use as leverage. First quarter of 2021. Jim, is Zelina still talking to Screen Actors Guild? I have no idea. But you saw what that was. We had a powerful conversation. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? If SAG-AFTRA really wanted to do something, they could. Wrestlers could have signed up already. Andrew Yang, what did he do? What did he do? I mean, people like to do this on social media, but all talk and no action. And I like Andrew Yang, but as I've said before, you're going to get at the end of 2021, and you're going to say, what the fuck did Andrew Yang, other than stir the pot? You know, anybody could say, oh, do this, do that, do this, you should do this, you should do that. Why isn't he doing it? Why isn't he leading it? Tell me what he's doing that's more important right now. Because I don't see Biden ringing his bell and signing him up to do something. It's lip service. Yes, Benjamin. Perfect. SAG-AFTRA, Cartieras, whatever her name is. I almost said Jimmy Wang Yang. Andrew Yang, lip service. That's what it was, lip service. But people out there, because they dislike WWE so much, they accept the lip service. I don't do lip service. I don't believe in lip service. If you work hard, then you're entitled to have some lip service. But no. Dorian Moore, late night toast with Don Tony. Maybe on New Year's Eve, but not every week. Tea and crumpets. Tea with Tony. Tea with Tony. Like I said, put your comments, put your ideas in the comment section. If I like any of them, I will pick them out. Next week, I will post the list for everyone, let everyone vote. And we'll see. We'll see. If I end up using my own idea, I'll probably still do the giveaway. I'll tell you right now. I probably will still do the giveaway. Because, you know, even like Breakfast Soup, my old DTKC show, all those shows, those ended up being ideas of mine, and they really weren't creative if you think about it. Is the Don Tony show really creative? Everybody does that. If your name is John, you would put the John show. Everyone, let's go take a John, go to the John. So it's not that creative, but I'm used to it. Roman was awesome. Roman was awesome. Yes, Roman was awesome. Absolutely. Courtney, I hope you heard what I said yesterday. I didn't read what you sent me last night, but I will read it tonight. It's just everything today was crazy, crazy. But much love and Happy New Year. Absolutely. But Roman tonight was excellent. Everything that he did. Yes, the backstage segment was a little goofy because, he obviously knew, the storyline. I mean, Adam Pearce is on TV with Kevin Owens booking a match. But what happens now? Is Roman Reigns going to beat the crap out of Adam Pearce? Adam Pearce could still take bumps. But then does Roman Reigns get suspended? What happens as a result? So, because getting back to SmackDown, early in the night, when Adam Pearce agreed that Roman Reigns would not face Kevin Owens, but instead Kevin Owens would face Jey Uso, Roman Reigns was pissed. And Roman Reigns told Paul Heyman that someone is trying to take away what we have built. And I want to know who that person is. So later in the night, Paul Heyman goes back to Roman Reigns and says it was Adam Pearce that made the match. So Roman Reigns tells Jey Uso to go out there and show why you're main event Us. But what happens with Adam Pearce now? In my opinion, in the storyline, something's got to happen with Adam Pearce. Now, yes, you think about it, Adam Pearce, if Roman beats the crap out of him, if he doesn't get suspended, then it's going to look kind of, ridiculous. And I don't want to hear, well, maybe Kevin Owens could talk Adam Pearce out of suspending him. That's kind of tough. But anyway, getting back to SmackDown. Oh, sure. Before. Soulfly wants me to do Chris Van Vliet. Who did Chris Van Vliet just interview? Oh, my God, I'm drawing a blank right now. He just interviewed somebody over the weekend. Someone in the chat. There's like a 7-second delay, so someone in the chat will remind me. Who did Chris Van Vliet just interview? And I will pretty much give you an example of what questions were asked. Booker T. Oh, yeah. So what do you think? And Hogan said, I'm not going to say it. How'd you like Heat? What did you do? Do you like Sasha Hanks? You don't like this. What's your favorite food? What's your favorite tag team? Did you like the Attitude Era? What do you like this? You sound nice. You look nice. You still could go. Do you want to wrestle? Do you want to go to Royal? Who do you think's going to win? Oh, what? That's all he does. I like Chris Van Vliet. But it's so freaking fluff. That's why everybody does interviews with him. Look, whenever you see the screenshot, when he posts the interview, I mean, not only is he always smiling like this, but if you notice a lot of times, like the Acclaim brought up with the Young Bucks, Chris Van Vliet always looks like he's looking at their nuts, their groin section. Because when Chris Van Vliet, if you look at the video, Chris Van Vliet is always, he's not looking straight at the camera. He's like this. I'm exaggerating. I like the guy. Just some of those hard-nosed questions always seem to be absent. And that's how you get interviews. That's how you get interviews. You know, I'd like to see Booker T in a Royal Rumble. For real. But seriously, you know, I got to clean my teeth a little bit more, though. I want to have, you know, I got to, like Eric Estrada white. Like, I got to paint him one day. Seriously, maybe as a joke. I'll go on Amazon. They have that special effect stuff to make your teeth like Eric Estrada white. If anybody remembers Chips, you know what I'm talking about. Or that big, what's that guy, you know, the big giant motivational speaker, Anthony something, what his name is. I can't remember his name right now. But I'm going to paint my teeth like white. White. Like extreme white. And I'm just going to come up here and do Chris Van Vliet. No, the Colgate white pen is not enough. They have makeup. Tony Robbins, that's who it is. They have makeup that you could buy on Amazon that makes your teeth white as a ghost. And I'll paint them right before we go live, and I'll just sit here. Hey, what's going on, Ernie? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? Oh, nice to see you. Oh, you got to call on again. I'm going to get in there. I get sick of that. I mean, I'm a happy guy as much as I possibly can. And, you know, I try to keep this channel happy and some laughs and talking about stuff. And, you know, of course we get sidetracked, and that's why the shows end up going 2 hours instead of an hour and 90 minutes. You know, I don't want to sit here and complain and be negative. But, man, his is like an extreme. You know, it's like I always say, like, if you know, everybody likes, like, for those who eat meat, you like a nice, juicy hamburger. You like a nice, juicy steak. You know, you like some real good meat, you know, nice ribeye or porterhouse, filet mignon, whatever, even sirloin. But once in a while, you know, for some reason, like, you know, you want a White Castle instead. And they taste so good, but, you know, after a while, you know it's not good. Like, I just can't picture somebody eating White Castles every day. That's what Vliet is. He does great interviews. But I just get sick and tired every interview. And like I said, I'm joking more than anything, but look at some of his screenshots. It's like looking at their bulge. And I'm saying it lighthearted. I have nothing against the guy. I try to just have some fun here. Alpha, I'm not crazy. I just have fun. I don't care who I piss off, seriously. I mean, yes, I'm an asshole. I definitely deserve criticism. Absolutely. But just keep in mind, like I said, you know, you want to throw darts at me, no problem. But then we have no business, you know. By the way, who was it? Alpha? No, not I Am Alpha. There was someone else yesterday, and he'll know who I'm talking about, but he thought he was shadow banned. Anybody remember who that was from yesterday? He wrote in the comment section, why am I shadow banned? And I was like, no, you're not shadow banned. I could see you. I don't know why he thought he was shadow banned, but whoever that was, I already sent him a message and told him, no, you're good, you're good. People that are shadow banned, they could be in the chat room, they could be posting comments, and none of us could see it. None of us. There are a few people. Sometimes I unban someone just to see what they wrote, and I ban them again. You know. So anyway, so Carmella, the feud with Sasha Banks continues. If you notice, they keep putting Bianca Belair in the mix, and that's a good thing. They're slowly prepping up Bianca Belair. She doesn't need prepping up. She's already one of the best EST in WWE, and that's not just a catchphrase or a gimmick. That she is legit. But she's still, you know, getting acclimated to the main roster and the style. And there's a lot of things that she does not do on the main roster that she did in NXT. That happens to everybody who comes up to the main roster. So we get the segment with the Street Profits. There's a drum set in the ring, and Angelo Dawkins impressing me on the drums, and they're doing their year-end predictions. And as I said earlier, one of the predictions was that spoof shirt making fun of Sami Zayn losing the title. He wants that to be the biggest selling shirt of 2021. Then he makes fun of Ziggler. Ziggler and Roode beat the crap out of the Street Profits, whacking Montez Ford's knee and leg repeatedly. And then again, it's not her fault. That's WWE feeding it to her. Her with the... Riddle should have said something like that. Yo, dude, bro, what's the reason for that vicious and unprovoked attack, bro? What did they do, bro? And Dolph Ziggler is looking at Kayla Braxton like, he just made fun of me. What are you, fucking stupid? You know, it's not her fault. It's the storyline. It's like, what kind of question is that? Unprovoked and vicious? Let me make fun of you like that and see how you feel about it. She tried to shove the mic up my buttocks. Now we get a weird segment. Daniel Bryan is training for the Royal Rumble, and they're seen in the ring earlier in the day. Daniel Bryan and Otis are in the ring. Gable is outside the ring. And Daniel Bryan is holding Otis in the back, and you have Corey Graves and Michael Cole describing in detail about strengthening the hips because of Royal Rumble and going over the top rope and this and that. And honestly, this is what Daniel Bryan was doing. He's like, deesh, deesh, deesh. I mean, if you take the sound off and you put some like porn music in the back, see, this music would be too light. I mean, you'd have to do it in slow motion with this music. You'd be like this. What was that? That's after all of these years of Daniel Bryan training. That's how you train with the hips? I don't know, man. Cesaro and Nakamura go up to him. They're laughing at them. So it leads to a match. Basically, did anybody see that awkward moment with the commercial break? Daniel Bryan is brawling outside the ring. Go back and watch it. It's pretty funny. They're brawling outside the ring. And here comes Otis. I swear to you, I'm not making this up. Otis does this. He's running. He's like this. And it just goes fade to black. I'm saying to myself, because I know they're on a little bit of a delay, like a 2-minute delay. Because when I do Thunderdome, it's about 2 minutes behind on TV. Whatever that was supposed to be, it must have fucked up so bad. Because you see Otis, he's like a running train outside the ring. Here comes Otis, and it went fade to black. This is what it did. Seriously, I can't keep both hands up when I do this, but Otis is running, and he's like this. Oh, wait. I got to do it the right way. Yeah, here we go. Otis is like this, running. Here we go. And then they go back, and they're in the ring after the commercial break. Go back and watch it, see what I'm talking about. But what ends up happening is Daniel Bryan is getting the shit knocked out of him. Otis makes the hot tag, and Otis, does the caterpillar to Cesaro. And when he does the caterpillar, he yells out 2021. Why would you drop on 2021. I think he should have said 2020, unless I got it wrong. You go back and watch that commercial break thing. You'll see what I'm talking about. He's like this. He's like running on one side to the other side of the ring like, here comes Otis. So anyway, Otis gets the win. And I said it 3 weeks ago. Otis's last loss was the beginning of the rebuilding of Otis. The last 3 weeks, that's exactly what WWE has done. Everybody, with the exception of maybe Keith Lee with the mouth, everybody who was supposedly sent to the Performance Center have done pretty damn good out there. Almost. Something changed, and I'm enjoying almost big time. Otis is doing pretty good. Dijakovic is doing okay. Dio Madden, they're giving him spots and spurts, and he's pretty decent with that. Keith Lee has had some pretty decent matches also. I don't know, man. I think people just don't understand sometimes, especially during COVID, that they ain't not much going on other than what you see. So they need to work out more. So anyway, Otis, Daniel Bryan get the win. Then we go, I should also add this to it. The very end of the match, Daniel Bryan and Nakamura were going back and forth a little bit. And it was fun, and Nakamura ended up tapping to the yes lock. But I tell you, the one thing I did not like was when Nakamura hit the ring, when Otis got the hot tag and was clearing house. Otis nailed one move on Nakamura, and Nakamura was acting like he was unconscious. I don't understand it. Nakamura is not 50. Nakamura can still tear it up. I'm sure he is happy that he doesn't have to bust his body like he did in the past. But man, to me, they are so misusing Nakamura. I don't get it. As us wrestling fans, we feel like he's being misused. I mean, for him, he's probably like, I show up, I work half match, 3 minutes, I get paid, I'm happy. I'd be fucking ecstatic also, man. I don't think Nakamura is phoning it in at all. I think they are giving him so little, and as long as that paycheck clears, I think he is happy as a pig in shit, and I would be too. Any of you out there, if you went to work on Monday and your boss said, you know what, you only have to work a third of a day. That's all right. You usually pack out shelves. Just stand at the door and just let me know when it rains. If you had the opportunity to make some decent money and not have to work anywhere near like you used to, we'd all take that. Let's be honest. We would all take that. So the main event today, as I said earlier, the least liked match between Jey Uso and Kevin Owens. Match was very, very quick. They go to a commercial break. They come back. Jey Uso's climbing the top rope. And the next thing you know, Kevin Owens, literally, it was like a minute. Kevin Owens stuns him, and he gets the win. Michael Cole is acting like he won the heavyweight championship. Kevin Owens just pinned Jey Uso. And Kevin Owens getting a little bit of revenge on Jey Uso. He was in a little handcuffs. Then he takes Jey Uso towards the back, trying to get Roman Reigns to come out. Lays Jey Uso out on a table on the rampway. Roman Reigns attacks Kevin Owens from behind, and Roman Reigns proceeds to beat the shit out of Kevin Owens. And there's a table spot, not as high from when it was, Mania? Remember when Kevin Owens took that real big dip, that big dive? But Kevin Owens took a really big, nice spot today off like an upper ramp, upper level, and threw a table, landed sideways. Roman Reigns talking smack to Kevin Owens in the process. Now we have to ask ourselves, where is this going with Kevin Owens? We already had cage matches. We have already had pay-per-view matches. What stipulation do you do now? Remember my idea from 2 weeks ago that they have a match at the Royal Rumble and Jey Uso is suspended in the air in a cage? I don't know if they'll do that, but it feels like they could either have one final match between those two at the Royal Rumble, or Kevin Owens is written off TV for a while, and as a result, someone else steps up and goes at it with Roman Reigns. The question is who? Daniel Bryan? Maybe Daniel Bryan. Maybe Daniel Bryan. Maybe he confronts Roman Reigns next week for what happened tonight. I don't know. But, you know, overall, it was not a bad SmackDown. January 1st, first SmackDown of 2021, I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. No, Yapapai. Yapapai. Somebody made a spoof of that. The Yapapai Indian strap match. Yapapai. There's only one way we can settle this, the Yapapai. 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 Spell that. Yapapai. Don't cut and paste it. Spell Yapapai. Seriously, I would have popped. If I was a teacher, seriously, if I was a teacher in the 90s, mid to late 90s, and they're like, Anthony, we want you to host the kindergarten spelling bee. I'm like, okay, I could do this. I tell people like, you know, spell Yapapai. Can you picture the kid just staring at you, and you could see in their eyes like all the color is lost in their face, and their heart is like sinking to the floor because they realize they just lost the spelling bee? Like Yapapai. Now, if you spell it like it sounds, Yapapai, you would say Yapa, like Papa, Y-A-P-A, and then Pi, P-I-E or P-Y. Yapapai. And I would have been like, eh. It would have fucking lost. And I would have probably gotten a complaint from the parent. There's no such word as Yapapai. Anyway. Before we go, everyone, because we're around the 2-hour mark, want to mention a couple of things about Impact Wrestling. It's not too bad. I think actually, you know, this is pretty cool. I will tell you this much, and even if you're not a fan of Impact, I'll say this. If Impact and AEW do not deliver something big this coming week, Impact Wrestling, I don't want to fart live on the air again, but Impact Wrestling deserves very, very little coverage. Only because if you see their website and their social media and TV, they are wet. They are wet with the idea that Kenny Omega is being on their show. If you think of the storyline, they should be livid that another promotion is coming in and doing what they're doing. Or the entire promotion should be a heel against AEW. Or you have fun, where all the Impact fans feel like AEW is the heel, and all the AEW fans feel like Impact is the heel. And I understand you can't have fans there for the most part. But still, Sami Callihan just signed a 2-year deal with Impact Wrestling. I guess his contract was supposed to expire today. Signed for 2 more years. Said that, you know, other promotions were in demand. I like Sami Callihan. I just look at even WWE's promotion. I'm saying to myself, what is he going to do there? It's just like the Briscoes and some others. Like, we think they're awesome talents, but I don't think they fit in WWE's regime. I don't even think he fits in NXT. So I don't know if there were these big contract offers on the table. But Sami Callihan is in Impact for 2 more years. I still think Sami Callihan should have been the hired gun that took out Jon Moxley a couple of weeks ago, leading into Kenny Omega versus Moxley. I think that's something they should have done, because I know for a fact a lot of you out there would have absolutely loved the idea of Sami Callihan versus Jon Moxley in some type of a hardcore match. And it would have been a great segue to get Jon Moxley out of the AEW heavyweight title picture. So, FT Gaggiano, what's up, my brother? Little late where you are, but we're actually going to wrap this up in about 10 minutes. So, but I hope your New Year's was good. And I know I always bring up the fact that he's 8,000 miles away from me, but, you know, I don't know what it would push me to want to enjoy something at that time of the morning. So unless he just woke up. Maybe he just woke up, he's got the morning wood, about to make some coffee, it's 8 a.m., and he's like, hey, you know, let me see what these guys are up to. That's different. But when it's like 5 in the morning and someone is tuning in, I mean, I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody that tunes in. But when you're tuning in at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 7 a.m., and you haven't gone to sleep yet, I'm like, man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I kind of feel like I got to give... I always, look, I'm like I said, I'll never be the most professional person out there. I'll never be the most polished. I'll never have the most views. A lot of people are not, you know, they don't like me because I'm not politically correct, even though a lot of my views have changed. I'm me. And, you know, it's like I used the Roman Reigns phrase a little bit different. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be a guy. I want to be the guy, but I'll never be the guy. So I just want to be the best guy that I could be for myself. I know it sounds a little corny, but that's what I try to do. I try to enjoy myself. And if I could get you all to smile even once, even though I can't see all of you out there, thank God, if you think about it. And I say that jokingly. So anyway, Impact Wrestling just did their 2020 year-end awards. You know, I mean... I have no problem with their choices, but when you look at this, you realize how thin their roster is and how small they've become on the food chain in pro wrestling. X Division Star of the Year, Ace Austin. Tag Team of the Year, The North, Ethan Page and Josh Alexander. Knockout of the Year, Deonna Purrazzo. Wrestler of the Year, Deonna Purrazzo. Finishing Move of the Year, The Good Brothers, Magic Killer. One to watch in 2021, Chris Bay. No objections to most of this. Moment of the Year, the Motor City Machine Guns returning and the Good Brothers and Heath Slater debuting at Slammiversary. Those were great moments, man. But the entire 2021, that is the moment of the year. That, in a way, that's like, man, nobody on your roster, like, nothing. Match of the year, Eddie Edwards beating Eric Young, Rich Swann, Ace Austin, and Trey Miguel for the Impact Heavyweight Championship at Slammiversary. Man, I don't mean to sound like an asshole, but if that was like my local indie promotion putting those awards up, you know, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. And you could see, like, and it's, look, this is not a shot on Deonna Purrazzo. WWE totally missed the ball on her, absolutely. But they have so many up and rising stars in WWE. I just think there's too many people right now there, and Deonna Purrazzo would have been lost in the shuffle. In fact, WWE probably did right to Deonna Purrazzo by letting her go, to let her blossom and flourish like she has. And then when they get to a point where they can use her, I mean, look at Tessa Blanchard. I mean, a lot of her not appearing right now is because of COVID still, but you're talking about, putting aside the La Rosa Negra stuff, one of the top women in wrestling in the last 10 years. And you can't find a home for her. But you could see, and again, this is my point, and not to throw shade at Deonna Purrazzo, but you could see it clearly, that Impact Wrestling, Deonna Purrazzo is their Tessa Blanchard replacement. Tessa Blanchard, everything went downhill. They swooped up Deonna Purrazzo, and they made sure that they not only pushed her to the moon, but they were going to make her Wrestler of the Year to try to distance themselves from Tessa Blanchard. And I got news for you. I always found it intriguing and interesting if Tessa Blanchard, because everybody says AEW, WWE, AEW, NXT. It'd be intriguing if Tessa Blanchard would have returned to Impact Wrestling and feud with Deonna Purrazzo, especially with what's gone on in the last 9 months. I'd be really intrigued at that. I don't know how you all feel about that, but I don't think Blanchard is overrated. I think Impact, like pushed her too much. Look, watch her match with Brian Cage. That's a lot of hard suspension of disbelief to take. Some of the matches she had, I could understand a fluke win here or there, you roll up, distraction, interference, but it was hard for me to suspend disbelief that much with some of the matches she had. But she is extremely talented, and she is one of the top tier that's not booked or signed to a company right now. Deonna Purrazzo, VJ, is very good, but Impact, understand, like they enhanced her more to replay. I'm sorry, just the way I feel. Do I think Deonna Purrazzo is the number one wrestler in Impact Wrestling? No, it has nothing to do with her being a woman or a man or anything like that. But I think of Moose. I think of some of the other wrestlers there, and I'm saying to myself, okay, you want to portray it that Deonna Purrazzo is the best talent in Impact Wrestling, period. And a lot of it feels like if Tessa Blanchard would not have been employed there in the last year or so, maybe Deonna Purrazzo wouldn't have gotten that award. But you look at people like Moose and others, and maybe they don't need an award, but why wouldn't you give it to someone else? Just my take on it. Yeah, Willie Mack, another good example. Sure. So anyway, this Tuesday, Impact. This is what they have lined up. That's why I think this week is the telltale week if we invest in this storyline any further or we just fucking put it aside. Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers are going to appear. Another promo segment. Sami Callihan takes on Eddie Edwards. Moose versus Matthew Palmer in a last 3 minutes challenge match. You got to last 3 minutes. Jordan Grace and Jazz versus Nevaeh and Havoc in the Knockouts Tag Team Tournament semifinal. Whoever wins that match will take on Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz at Hard to Kill for the Knockouts Tag titles. You have Rhino and Cousin Jake versus Joe Doring and Eric Young. Casey Navarro and versus Crazy Steve versus Ace Austin versus Blake Christian. Right now for Hard to Kill, you have Omega and the Good Brothers teaming up, take on Rich Swann and the Motor City Machine Guns. And again, Rich Swann and the Motor City Machine Guns should show up at Dynamite this week. I feel like they gotta. Manic versus Chris Bay versus Rohit Raju for the X Division Championship and the finals for the Knockouts Tag titles. And finally, I just wanted to plug this because I know a lot of you out there are into these virtual autograph signings. Something that Mick Foley might not be too thrilled at right now, but Impact Wrestling is doing one on Saturday, January 16th, as you can see. And it's going to start at 11 a.m., and it's similar to what they did at Slammiversary. Interactive, virtual private party. And they already have announced for this, they have Deonna Purrazzo, the Good Brothers, Rich Swann, they will be appearing. You're going to have Don Callis appearing, Eric Young, Kiera Hogan, Tasha Steelz, the Motor City Machine Guns. If I sound a little mumble mouth right now, I'm getting like dry mouth. I feel a little shangada today. Didn't sleep all that much. You can buy tickets for this. They said registration is still open, but it's very limited. You go to Impact Wrestling's website. They have the links up there. But if you sign up, you will get an official Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill t-shirt, a $25 gift certificate for shopimpact.com, and you will get autographed swatches of in-ring canvas from Bound for Glory. Now, I'll be honest with you. They got canvas left over from Bound for Glory. This is just my opinion if I was Impact Wrestling. This is Hard to Kill pay-per-view. This ain't Bound for Glory anymore. You still got, hey, we got all this canvas left over. What the fuck are we going to do with it? Put it on eBay. what they should be doing is they should be advertising that they're going to use Canvas from Hard to Kill's pay-per-view. Sign stuff from there. Because when you say, oh, we got this stuff from Bound for Glory, no matter how good that pay-per-view was or something like that, this is Hard to Kill. Everything should have the theme for Hard to Kill. I know the names. I know some of their names are a little bit. Bound for Glory I always liked that. Hard to Kill, to me, it's like when I go fishing with the night crawlers. You cut the worm in 5 pieces and it's still moving around, even though it's like 5 pieces, like on your sidewalk. You know, that's what Hard to Kill is. You know, Hard to Kill is when there's a roach on your ceiling and you thought you hit it with the broom and it falls to the floor and it's shooting across the room and you're running after it. You're trying to catch it and this and that. And you can't get it, or you spray it with like Windex because the roach spray is not, available. That ever happened to you? You get a roach and you're like, oh, I got to get the spray. I got to kill it. And then that's when you can't find the roach spray and you look around and all you got is like Windex, or you got suntan lotion or cologne and you spray the cologne and the thing's looking at you like, yeah, now I smell nice. You didn't do shit. That's what Hard to Kill is for me. I don't know about Hard to Kill. It's kind of like a corny name. I mean, Johnny Bravo should be hosting it. Look, I'm Hard to Kill. Dumb jokes. So anyway, this week, let's see what Impact Wrestling, force of habit. Let's see what Impact Wrestling and AEW do. I'm pretty confident we will see shit go down this week. It's gotta. Remember this week we have New Year's Evil. We talked about it on Wednesday. I'll probably mention it quickly on Monday. We'll cover it this Wednesday as well. Wednesday is my dad's birthday, but my parents will be in Florida, so I will be, Zooming with them, and I got to send them a gift virtually, give them gift certificates, for a couple of restaurants out there. When we saw the Adam Cole stuff earlier, there were a couple of assholes, that were pointing out that nobody was wearing a mask, in that lobby. But it's Florida, and Florida handles their masks a lot different. Like my father was telling me in Marco Island, where they go, he said that people look at you funny if you're wearing a mask. It's just the way it is. It's different in different areas. But anyway, FT Gaggiano's, his mom's birthday is on Wednesday. Yeah, January 6th. I get to celebrate my father's birthday, and I get to see Karrion Kross kick ass on the same day. Happy birthday to Mama Gaggiano. Awesome, man, awesome. And, Kevon Lewis, next week is pretty good for wrestling, man. It really is. And I hope 2021 is more, we've heard WWE for so many years, we're going to give you what you want, I mean, I remember Vince 20 some odd years ago that I know what the fans want. And he still feels that way, obviously. I'll talk about Bruce Pritchard on Monday, by the way. Yes, I did hear what he had to say. I am a fan of Bruce Pritchard, but we will talk about that on Monday, as we will with that list that we were talking about earlier. But, I think 2021 has got to be more fan-friendly. And I know that sounds a little bit odd. Maybe it doesn't even make sense, but it's got to be a little bit more fan-friendly in the sense that, not every match, like I said earlier, has to have a deep storyline. Sometimes you just have straight-up matches, even if there's some predictable finishes of what people want to see. Big E getting the title now was a nice moment, and Big E has a big following online. That man obviously is going to be the next in line to become the next huge single superstar, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But AEW, off the heels of that tribute, and I'll tell you this much, man. His son, for 8 years old, he has some moves. I mean, he's got some moves down pat, and he understands wrestling. I saw people getting triggered because MJF got in his face and he said some nasty stuff. That kid knows the deal. So I hope he develops. Because you look at Benoit's son, you look at some other sons of wrestlers who have died, no matter what the circumstances. I mean, I don't recall so much, I don't want to call it pressure, but so much hype and anticipation to see if Brodie Lee, his son, could develop and become a pro wrestler. And you know what? God bless his mother also, because, she embraces pro wrestling too. This is not someone, with some other deaths where they, I don't want nothing to do with wrestling anymore. I don't think wrestling killed Brodie Lee, because some people were saying that, wrestling could have been effective. We don't know. We don't know. And I don't want to know the answer. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I do want to know the answer. I want to know why somebody 41 years old in such phenomenal shape, I'm jealous. I wish I had that physique. I don't know why somebody at 41 was taken that soon, that quickly. But if we never are told the reason, that's fine with me. I respect that. Totally respect that. So anyway, with that said, I'm going to jet out of here. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Great conversation as always. A lot of fun, positive. I love the vibe. I love the vibe. We're not all politically correct here, and we understand there's a lot of shit that's messed up in this world right now. But, this is a friendly atmosphere. You don't have to worry about saying something complimentary about even Corbin. You say something nice about Corbin, you don't have to worry about getting buried over here. And that's one thing that I absolutely love about here. I will tell you that this weekend, Mish and I are going to be working on a couple of ideas, a couple of things that we're working on. A lot of you want us to take calls. We are working on that. And I truly believe, and maybe it's just for one show for now, but we're going to start taking calls within the next month or so, maybe sooner. It's not that hard to do. When I'm on with Mish, it's a lot easier because we could rotate every week. All right, Mish, I'll handle the calls from here. I could screen, I could do things here, and he doesn't have to, or vice versa. I had somebody who I actually was going to pay a couple of dollars to screen calls and do stuff like that, but that person didn't come through. So, but we're working on that. Look, we want to make sure whatever we launch, another show, calls, whatever we do, we want to make sure it's done right. Because it's very easy to hype stuff up online. But there's a lot of work involved as well. And, the last thing we want to do is announce or hype stuff up, and then we got to postpone it for a month or 2 months or 3 months. And then what people start thinking is, these motherfuckers just hype shit up just to get attention and press and all, but meanwhile they didn't do nothing. So we want to do it right, or we don't want to do it at all. So, yeah, and I'll be able to hear some of you finally. Absolutely, man. The only thing I ask, because back in the day when I did Minority Report podcast a long time ago, we used to take calls. And the only problem that we had, and I know Jason has this problem also, and some people who take calls right now, is, a lot of people want to call just to interact. And what you find is people will call in just to call in. Like, they don't really have anything to talk about, but they just want the opportunity to call in. That's why, because we were working on memberships here also, and it's not a money grab, trust me. But, Mish came up with this idea. He's like, look, you're going to get people that are going to call in, just to call in, to have the opportunity to chat with us. So we might even do something on a membership where Mish and I will call you. Not as a live podcast, but maybe like once a month, we'll call everybody who's in a tier. We just have a conversation, talk about whatever. Maybe we do a whole Zoom and have everybody on together, similar like AEW heels, just we won't look as sexy as all the women that are in that room, So we have some ideas going. And trust me, whatever we do, number one, it's going to be boatload of fun. And number two, we are not looking to take advantage of anybody here. Trust me. If we start doing things on here, and like I said, the only reason why we're even doing memberships is, number one, if you notice, there are no commercials on these shows during the videos. Commercial may be at the beginning, and a commercial may be at the end. But for the last 2 months, I've made it like it's repetition for me. I make certain before I go to bed, make sure that no commercials stream. So, you know, there's expenses involved, but, you know, we want to make it where, you know, whether I don't want to make any numbers now, but for example, you know, if it's $1.99 for a whole month and you get this, it, like we're just playing around some ideas, but we may not even do it. We may not even do it. So, but trust me, we are working our ass off. We're working on watch-alongs. We're working on a couple of things. And if you have any ideas that you think would be cool to add, whether it's just on the channel overall or on memberships, post it in the comment section. Or if you don't want to say it publicly, you could email me, dontony@dontony.com, or you could DM me on Twitter. By the way, Austin, and I don't remember the other gentleman's name, email me and let me know if you got your Nakamura photos by now. Both of you told me about 10 days ago you didn't get it, but I know one of you emailed me, I think Friday, and said that you got it. So email me and let me know if you got it, because I sent them both out together. You should have gotten it by now. And I think it was Jake Hollos that won the Halloween Havoc signed card. Let me know if you got that too, because I sent that out about 4 or 5 days ago. So, but and do a singing contest. I suck at singing. Oh no, you don't want me singing. But I absolutely look. We're here to have fun. We're here to have fun. I poke fun at myself. I don't try to make myself look like a goof, and I do sometimes. But the idea of this channel is to just have fun. Forget about all the shit that's going on in this world for a little while. But I want to spread the shows out as much as possible and cut down on the lengths. Because, you know, realistically, there's no way that a lot of you out there would be able to tune into 2 hours on Monday, 2 hours on Wednesday, 2 hours on Thursday, 2 hours on Friday. And then if we do so, that's like 8 to 10 hours a week. And I know there's a lot of other podcasts out there that you enjoy as well. So, you know, we definitely want to smooth it out a little bit, but I see where it's forming. You know, Monday show is totally different from Wednesdays. Wednesday show is totally different from Fridays. And Thursday is just going to be, you know, I don't want to use off the cuff because that's a theme that we do on Patreon. That one, it's just a beautiful show. Talk a lot of personal stuff, you know, it's just, but this is similar to that, but it's more just, you know, like chat than anything else. Maybe even put chat in the name, I don't know, but post your ideas. Like I said, even if I choose my own in the end, I will still run a contest with everybody who puts their entry in, and we'll give away the belt or we'll give away something else. So anyway, before you go, if you enjoyed tonight's episode, I appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up or a like. So that tells YouTube that you enjoyed the show and they will recommend it to some others. The show I did last Monday, the first tribute I did to Brodie Lee, I mean, it got about double the normal viewership. And the number of people that loved it was just humbling. It's bittersweet, but that show last Monday was my favorite of the year. Period. It was my favorite. But I'll say this too. It was so cool that some people were sending me screenshots and saying, hey, look what YouTube recommended today. And it was like number 2 on the list. I'm like, that's cool. It's a shame that Brodie Lee had to die, you know, but that was pretty freaking cool. So, but I appreciate if you do that. And, oh yeah, Soulfly, 7 dislikes. That doesn't surprise me. I mean, you know, look, I'll leave you with this without being controversial. I plugged that New Year's Eve shit during the weekend. I posted a thank you yesterday, showing a little screenshot with me and my significant other. I swear to you, I'm gonna be in my 50s. I'm not trying to put it in anybody's face that I have a partner. You know, it's not. I'm not 16. I don't do that anymore. I don't rub it in people's face. She's a big part of my life. She's a wrestling fan, and she welcomes me doing this as long as it doesn't interfere in our life. But I hyped that shit all weekend. I hyped that shit yesterday. I posted a thank you today. And I've said this for 2 years. You go on that page and you just look at all the things for the last 2-3 weeks for the holidays. And you look at all the people who will not like it, will not post it, will not comment, will not wish, will not. And I don't need that stuff. But again, it's the example of what I said when I got engaged 13 and a half months ago. There are people out there that, to my face, whether it's verbal, typing, email, podcast, whatever it is, tell me to my face, compliments, compliments, compliments. Behind the scenes, it is the complete opposite. And I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that because I know the truth. But the fact of the matter is that, you know, publicly, you know, when I get mad at that, I look like the bad guy. But like I said, I invite you, whenever good things happen, you know, those people, it's, I don't know if it's a jealousy or if it's a bitterness. Oh, he's got a good thing. Fuck that. I don't like that. I'm not, and I can't tell you, Mish and I have fun with it. I brought it up yesterday. There's 2 or 3 people that we know of that are signed to the YouTube, subscribed, because I can see who subscribes. And they're part of Discord. And the funny thing is, and I love the Discord channel, I just don't mingle too much in there. It's just, I don't chat that much. It's not anything against Discord, but what happens is we have it set up in our Discord channel that when I am ready to publish like my next episode, I'll give you an example. Sunday, I will post publicly that we're going to do the show Monday. So once I have it ready and I put it online so everybody's notified to let them know that the next show is going to air on Monday, I have it set up on Discord that after about a minute, it pops up on YouTube. Discord posts an alert to let everyone know there that DT, you know, his next scheduled episode is online, this and that. And Mish and I, about a week and a half ago, I said, Mish, I'm going to put it up online right now. And he and I, not in the same house, but on our computers, kept hitting on YouTube, reload, 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 reload. It popped up on Discord. There was a few people there chatting, so we know who 2 of them are. And as soon as it popped up on Discord, as we were reloading, it wasn't even on YouTube for 10 seconds after Discord, 2 dislikes. That's how some people are, man. Just totally against this YouTube channel, totally against seeing it grow, totally against seeing us have fun, totally against seeing anything good happen to others. And, you know, it is what it is. There's a lot of people out there like that, but we can't focus on that, man. We got to just have fun. Ken's watching Wonder Woman. Yeah, I heard Wonder Woman 84 sucks. I heard Wonder Woman 84 sucks. But, yeah, it's just sad, man. It's just sad to see people have grudges like that. You know, it's just, I mean, honestly, I say this with the utmost honesty. There's some podcasters that I can't stand. None of them are in wrestling, though. It's other forms of entertainment that I watch. But I never, like, ever, like, would sit there and just hit dislike, dislike, dislike. I'd rather just ignore their channel. Because, you know, if you ignore it and you don't communicate, because what these people don't realize is that even if you get a dislike, you still interacted on the channel. So their dislikes actually help me get more attention. That's the God honest truth. If you don't like an episode, dislike it. I absolutely have no problem if anybody out there doesn't like an episode and says, even if you, and I give you credit if you have, you know, the balls to say to me, DT, I didn't like the episode because of blah, blah, and blah. You will never see me get triggered, you know, and say to you, what are you out of your fucking mind? Or this is an ad? No, if you have a legitimate reason, I will respect that. And if you notice the last 2 weeks, I try to respond to every single comment that is on YouTube, unless we got a little, you know, wise ass here and there. I usually ignore that. But yeah, if they don't like it, just ignore the page. But but like I said, that two-faced stuff that I see go on, you want a good example, just look at my social media the last 2-3 weeks and all the positive posts, and you will see a core group of people that will just stay clear away from it. There's a bitterness, there's a jealousy. I don't know what it is, but all I know is that they ain't stopping us, our family here. We're having fun, and that's all that matters. At the end of the day, I swear every single one of you out there are what matter. Whether you're hanging out on YouTube or if you're listening live or watching live and you're chatting on Discord, for people that truly support what we do, that's who we do this for. I'm too old to have, grudges against people that, are that shallow about it. But don't support Wrestle. What's wrong with Wrestle Talk? Darren, what's wrong with Wrestle Talk? I don't really have too much of a problem with Wrestle Talk. Is there really something wrong with it? The Good Chat Network? Goochcast Network. I don't know what Goochcast is, believe it or not. I don't know. I'll check it out. I'll see what it's about. But, oh yeah, Brian, I see celebrities getting hated on. I felt bad for this girl. I don't want to say what show she has. It's like a nutrition show. She's probably like 30, and she's a really, really nice girl, and she lives in California. She's got a boyfriend, and she's never showed a picture of him, never showed his face, just nothing. And at the beginning of the month, she put on YouTube that for New Year's Eve, she was going to put him on so everybody could finally see who the person is behind, who she's been talking about for a couple of years. So I follow her YouTube, and it's about like dieting and stuff like that. And yesterday she posted the video, and she made the biggest mistake. For about 2 or 3 minutes, she was literally begging everybody. She's like, look, I know my supporters, won't do this, but for those out there, please be kind. Please don't, say anything derogatory. My boyfriend doesn't like to go on social media, and he's very, very shy, and, he's a wonderful guy, and he treats me well, and, just please, because, he's not on. And she did this for 2 or 3 minutes, and as I'm watching, I'm saying to myself, oh my God, she doesn't understand. The more she asked them not to, the more the trolls will. And sure enough, she, a lot of these podcasts, they pause a lot of times when they're not live, and they just edit stuff together. I got to start doing that more. That's pretty talented. Where can you buy a shirt, 90s guy? Pro Wrestling Tees. I have a store up there. In fact, we're going to be launching, I don't know if it's going to be before February 1st, but we have some designs being worked on. We got some new shirts coming out. A Wednesday Night Dynamite shirt's going to come out, and the graphic is so freaking cool. New breakfast soup shirt design. Somebody's making a spoof of Beavis and Butthead with Mish and myself, which is pretty freaking funny. And there's a couple of shirts coming out, but there's a few there as well. Pro Wrestling Tees, just .com/Don Tony, I believe. But thank you for that. And 90s guy, if you have any problems ever with Pro Wrestling Tees, just let me know. I'll have the shirt shipped to me, and then I'll ship it overseas, because I ship stuff all the time overseas. Never have any problems. Sucks sometimes with the shipping charges. I don't know if anybody remembers that WrestleMania plaque that WWE had with Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk. It was like this big. I gave it away in a contest, and the person lived in the UK. It cost me $88 to ship it. I shipped it. If I offer it, I ain't going to screw anybody over. But anyway, just to finish up about this girl. So yesterday she brings him on. I mean, he looked like a little nerd. He was wearing like a sweatshirt. He had some acne, and his hair was parted in the middle. And he's like, here I am, I exist. And I felt so bad, because it looked like a deer in headlights. And sure enough, yesterday evening I was having dinner, and I said, let me see what kind of comments. And, a lot of regular people, oh, he's cute. Oh, you look like a great couple. And the fucking trolls. You had to see some of the horrible stuff that was being written. And I was saying to myself, I wish I was a moderator there, because I would have just deleted that shit. Like I say on this channel, sometimes we get assholes that try to start shit with all of you out there. Most of the time, you don't get even a chance to see it, because every couple of hours I'll stop by and I'll see what comments are written. And if somebody writes something dopey, I usually delete it. So, Gamer's Block. He thought he'd be able to send a super chat, but the show still goes on. Thank you, my friend. This is what I don't mind doing here. If we stay a few extra minutes just to have some regular convo, that's what I want to do on Thursdays. I'll do it on any night. You guys want to hang out and talk a little bit? If I have the time, and the show is not too long, I don't mind. A little extra time is not going to hurt. But that's my goal for Thursdays, though. Thursdays, I want it to be just casual convo like we're doing now. If it leads to wrestling, fine. If it leads to baseball, fine. If it leads to movies, fine. If it leads to old school, new school, whatever, it's fine. That's my goal. But I would never stop it on any of the shows. But I thank you very much, Gamers Block. I thank you. And, Karen loves to hear the talk about other stuff. That's why, like I said, at the end of the day, my goal is to have a different type of show on each day. We're still doing the Q&A. I didn't post the thread yet because I'm working with Mish to see if we're going to do one together next week or not. But, my goal is eventually to have something on this channel 6 out of 7 days a week. But I definitely want to start putting up some pre-recorded stuff that goes a half hour, 20 minutes, an hour, just a lot of shorter things. This way, you don't have to get bogged down with stuff. But like I said, Thursdays, just casual convo about anything. That's my goal for that night. But, yeah, the only thing we won't do is anything that will get us in trouble on YouTube. I heard as of January 4th, how long was Hard to Kill up there? Just noticed that. Oh, by the way, so thank you, Gamers Block. Thank you. I wanted to show you this. I posted on my social media, like how it started, how it's going. I did a little different for 2020 and 2021. This is for this person, how 2019, I don't know if you say how 2019 closed out, but what you're going to see here is how January 1st, 2020 was for this person and how January 1st, 2021 was for this person. So this is Angel Garza from a year ago to today. Right before the new year, he won the Cruiserweight Championship. And yes, yesterday during the holiday stream, TikTok video, whatever it was, I saw it. You had the New Day. They were with R-Truth. And a referee shows up and he's got like those things you blow for the New Year's. And next thing you know, Angel Garza rolls up R-Truth, wins the 24/7 championship. And I also think Xavier Woods' trombone broke in half. I think that's why Xavier Woods was going nuts yesterday too. But Angel Garza, yes, it broke while we were doing the show yesterday. He is the new 24/7 champion. And I tell you, if they're going to have Eva Marie debut or return with Angel Garza, I want Angel Garza to give her. Remember I said yesterday, you don't say it yours. He pronounced yes. For my baby, this is yes. Yes. I want him to give her the 24/7 championship like a token, like a gift. And obviously she's not going to defend it. Oh, the freaking same light that fell the other day. Unbelievable. I got to show you this light. Oh, man, this sucks. Oh, forget it. The same freaking light that fell last week just fell again. Look, I feel like I'm Otis right now with Daniel Bryan. So, you know what it is? I got Baron Corbin cards all over the floor. The freaking light just fell again. That's my sign that it's time to go. It's 12:45 a.m., as you could see. And I still got to put this online for all my audio friends out there. So, yeah, so much love, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Have a great weekend. It's interesting because it doesn't feel like a Friday night because of New Year's yesterday. It kind of feels like a Sunday night, but it's cool because tomorrow's only Saturday. So I get to sleep late tomorrow. Actually, no, because the bird will wake up at like 5:30 in the morning. And this bird is pretty cool. I actually, Sunday, I have being delivered to me a little like pet cam that I could like watch him, especially when I'm at work. I leave the cage door open so he could like roam around. But I have to record the footage so you could see it. At 5 a.m., 6 a.m., what this bird does is he's got a bell in the cage. It's about the size of my finger, a bell. And he will knock it like once or twice, very, very lightly. And it's his way of telling me that he's awake. And then what I do is I wake up, I go inside, I turn the TV on for him so he's got something to look at in here, and then I go back to bed. And then he doesn't do nothing for 2 more hours. So it's pretty cool. I'm going to show you the footage. You know me. If I tell you something, I usually got to back it up. But he's cool, man. That picture I showed of you yesterday of me, that picture, if I have it handy, let me see if I have it handy. I think I do. Let me see. Do I have it? Let's see. Yeah, this is me. For people that missed New Year's yesterday, hold on. I want to, because it was funny because a lot of people yesterday said, yeah, you do have a Dexter Lumis vibe. This is me and that same bird, the same bird that's inside it you've seen videos of. That is me from 25 years ago. I kid you not. That is me from 25 years ago. I don't have the video of him playing dead. Do I have that handy? I'm looking to see if I have it handy. It'd be pretty cool if I could show you, but I don't think I have it handy here tonight. I'm looking around. I don't see it. I don't think I have it handy. So I'll show you next time. But yeah, that is me and Freddie from 25 years ago. And a lot of people think that if I photoshopped Dexter Lumis's hair, that I look like Dexter Lumis. That is really us. And here's me with the goof hair. Hold on. Getting a little disarray here. That's me with, like I said, I don't know what the hell that big chunk of hair is on top, but yeah, that's 25 years ago. No joke. We just found that picture. So, yeah. Anyway. So I'm going to jet out of here. So, everyone enjoy the weekend. All the best as always. Leave your comments. Like I said, I make it my business now to answer just about everybody. I'm trying not to miss anybody's. Whatever you want to talk about, post your ideas as far as the name for Thursday. And, I'll be back here Monday with Mish for Breakfast Soup Raw. We'll talk about that Ryan Satin report card, which I just thought was totally, totally inappropriate. We'll talk about Raw and a few other things that transpire over the weekend. And I thank you. Thank you for the support as always. Much love. January 1st. We still got 364 days to go in the year. But I tell you, I think we kicked off 2021 on a nice note. Wrestling was not too bad. Hopefully the weather wasn't too bad where you are. No real controversy going on. We're one step closer of having COVID in the rearview mirror. So just stay strong. Do what you got to do. Be careful, be safe, and I will catch you all again on Monday. So everyone take care, much love, and good night, everybody. Be well. I'll talk to you on Monday. Avoid Satan, somebody. Oh, you know what? Before I go, whoever said it yesterday, I apologize. Somebody told me when it hits midnight to say Jumanji. I never followed Jumanji. I had no idea what this person was talking about. I looked it up today. I'm sorry. I was pouring champagne yesterday to toast in the new year. I forgot to say it. So if you pretend it's midnight right now, Jumanji. Manja, manja, manja. Manja.